Hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome
Hello,
Welcome
good
back.
back.
people.
How we doing? What's going on?
Oh,
I'm sure everybody, everybody has a
Welcome
lot
back.
to say today, because
this
I
is
can
it.
really tell you guys to
Back
pay
again.
me because my
Yes, sir.
predictions were 100%.
Listen, that's why I had everyone make their predictions last week because I just knew
Mhm.
that we was going to be spot. We've been spot on about a lot of stuff, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just go
Yeah.
ahead and start making these predictions now.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
have them actually set because, honey, child, if it didn't just come to fruition, I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, I ain't saying Brandon was right, but good Lord, good Lord, it came to fruition, honey. We got so much to talk about. So much.
Yeah.
Honestly. So now let's just jump into it, anyways. So they had a getaway. This happens like every season. I think it started during the COVID time. That was like season three, season four. So they started doing like this getaway kind of thing that they bring everybody together and we enjoy each other. Drama always happens because bringing two, three people who are interested in each other, I was like, come on, it was too obvious that drama was going to occur. So we're going to start off with the first scene. Katrina comes out. We all know that she has no connection at this point. So she's trying to like find somebody that she can hang on and be like, oh, I have this connection with this person. She first spoke with Moray, but we didn't really get that scene much. Then she moved on to speak with Quentin, who is out here showing his muscles and everything. And not less than 2 minutes into the conversation, Janelle walks in
Why is you
and she
naked?
starts throwing some shades.
Right, like Janelle, honey, listen.
Lord help
You
me. I mean,
instead of giving "I'm ready for love," you look like you're ready to go ahead and just have a child, honey. Because you surely was acting like Clint was your child.
and not to mention the dress was helping the hips hipping. Okay, I mean, and this is the thing. Katarina was right because Katarina said I cannot have a conversation with without Janelle coming through, and then are you spoken for, Quinn? It don't matter. Everybody know. I'm just like, girl, um, like just Lord
But
Jesus
Clint was right there with it,
Christ.
though. Clint was right there with it. I am. Yes, I am. I'm a spoken man. Like, come on, Clint.
Lord Jesus.
Come
And then
on.
Cal and then Cal ran it with the shade of like blink twice. Blink twice if you need
He's
help.
in
And
the
that turned out to
sunken
be the
place.
title of the episode. Lord help.
She said, "My man is in a sunken place, honey. He needs help. Somebody come rescue him. He's big
hey.
and beefy, but he's not strong. If y'all understand what I mean, because honey, he was he could not make a move. Did y'all notice how every time Quentin did make a move or talk to someone, Janelle's eyes was cutting? She
Yes.
had the stank face. She had the stare of death.
Oh my
And she
Lord.
really had that, this is my man. Don't look at him. Look on her face.
But she really don't even believe that that's her man. I feel like, because when they were talking about a poolside, about, I mean, she really don't really believe what's coming out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? She really does not seem convinced. But she like, well, we already this far in, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and explore this option even more. Quentin, on the other hand, I give Quentin to the end of the episode, to the end of the show, and Quentin be done with you now. It's all for sure.
Honestly, because
I feel like Quentin's done with Janelle anyway, especially after one, the whole
Yeah.
workout incident and
Oh
her going
yeah.
off how she did
let's not
with
get into that.
Katarina.
Let's not get into that yet.
Oh no,
Because
I'm not getting into it, but I'm just saying you can just tell Quentin is kind of veering. Just look at his mannerisms. He's still kind of on Janelle like that, but mm-mm. Quentin, he's yeah. It's not gonna be too much longer. He's gonna be all up under Janelle's
Ooh.
ass.
Yeah,
Listen,
it'll wore off. The initial excitement of it has done wore off.
no, for sure. And that's the thing too. Like, I want to pull this comment up because I sent the digital exclusives over to the panel, and y'all, we actually do talk. And so I saw this one comment, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. Now, y'all do not laugh at this comment until y'all know how when you're at graduation and they say, "Please hold your applause until after everything's
You
been
know this is a
said."
black panel. Don't
Oh,
nobody hold
oh,
their
oh,
applause
oh,
till
oh,
the
oh,
end.
oh, listen. Oh, listen. I know. I just wanted to seem a little of semi-formal. So this was on the digital exclusive from Quinn is mine. Um, the Truth 470. Every big girl I know's at like every big girl I know acts like some version of Janelle. Nasty, mean, bitter, and hanging on women who are either younger or smaller than them. Lizzo's auntie needs therapy. I'm like,
Ah,
child, you need to
ah,
stop. You need to stop.
That was
Not Lizzo's
that was
auntie. Wait a you know what? You know what?
ah
that was
ah.
rude.
Listen,
That was
what?
rude.
Ah, that
Nah,
was
nah, 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 nah.
Oh my lord!
Oh,
And it's got 29 likes. I'm like, I cannot. Y'all in the comment section are a whole character. Lord help.
Well, hell,
listen, what?
from what's being said, Lizzo needs new backup dancers and a whole new production team. So there you go, Janelle. There you go.
but seriously, I was disappointed in Janelle because she's a very pretty lady.
She is.
And to be honest, when I saw the preview, because this was the preview for the episode, like the preview that they used to like promote the episodes, I was like, maybe there was something that happened. I was really giving her the benefit of the doubt because I wanted something to happen and they
Right.
just like edited and chopped the whole thing so that it wouldn't seem that she's so desperate to get to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends like this that once they have like their sight on the guy and they're like, oh, let's date or something, that's it. No girl can talk to this guy. No girl can have any conversation. If they have
Mm-hmm.
conversations with this guy, the next thing is, oh, what did this girl say to you? What did this girl say? It's very overbearing. At some point, even if you like that person, you will start feeling choked up.
Right.
And it was very obvious that he was irritated, especially when he took the, oh, sorry, when he took the sip from the drink. Did you see the face he gave? I'm like, is this dude really humoring like Janelle so she doesn't like get mad? Almost like he's afraid of telling her the truth. It's this scene would just rub me the wrong way. Because these are the kind of girls that if their dude has like a female best friend, they will make your life a living hell. And it's just repulsive.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, and we all know that this was taped in a month and a half, but you know, what you do on camera can be a reflection of what you do in life. So let's just say that, Venus, Serena Williams is on Shark Tank, and he goes on Shark Tank, and you looking at Serena Williams the wrong way, and she may want to invest in Quinn's business. You messed up your whole empire because you jealous of any woman. Like, what the hell?
But this is what gets me about that whole thing. Sorry, guys, I'm actually. But what gets me about that whole thing is do not come and talk about how much you have, your worth, and how much you value it, but then show us exactly how you can deplete your own value.
Facts.
You cut yourself off at the knees. Why?
Yep.
We can talk about all your accolades. We can talk about how your appearance is, but that inside is ugly. It's terrible. It stink. Who
Mm-hmm.
wants to be around that?
Yep.
Because that surface level is only going to get you so far for so long. After
I agree
that,
with that.
and people start seeing your inside, what do you have to work with then?
Right.
Nothing. Kitty, have anything to say?
Q, you there, bro?
He's there. He's having technical issues.
Okay. But yeah, I thought that whole setup, at it was just grilling. I mean, my lord. I mean, y'all are all there for the same experience. I mean, really, she can't talk to him about just hey, how's the experience going? Like y'all are all in the same thing. Like Jesus Christ, it was a conversation.
She was like, to be honest, Katerina is better than me. I think I'm stuck, but I'm going to speak then come back in. Katerina is better than me because there's no way someone is going to
How we
come
doing? How
out
we
here
doing?
throwing jabs at me. Oh, he's back. Throwing jabs at me, and then I will walk away. Hell no, I can be very petty. I will stay there. I don't mind being the third wheel. I will stay there and make you very uncomfortable because you
Right.
made me uncomfortable. She didn't even say anything. I would understand her trying to guard Quentin if he was saying, or if she was saying something bad towards her. But no, she was just like very random, simple conversations. And they're like, oh, he's mine. And she was like, oh, are you spoken for? And I said, so far, he knows he's spoken for. I'm like, damn, that's the words of an insecure lady. That was very, very insecure. So
Yeah,
I would have expected it from someone else, but from you, I was
yeah,
disappointed.
yeah.
That
That
was
was
insecure and desperate. And that's
yes,
why
it
I said
was.
it's giving almost like that's your child and he can't go anywhere. Like, no, you gotta stay next to me. Hold my hand. Put your hand in my pocket type. Like it's just he's not yours. Like what claim do you really have to this man? Besides the fact that he wants to sleep with you.
Hmm.
What else
Yep,
is there? Because
I
honestly, I'm gonna
agree.
tell you, Quentin hasn't showed that he really wants you for anything more than that.
Yep, I agree. I think what it is, and I'll give this analogy. You know how you go like to a BMW car dealership and you get in the BMW SUV and it's got Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and it's a X Drive all-wheel drive and the leather is nice and everything. You're like, oh, I like all the features. This was nice. I'm in control of this until you sit down with the salesperson and be like, so yeah, that's $100,000. Excuse me? Yeah, that's actually 100, comma 30, $100,000. There's a lot of people that want the car or the SUV or whatever for the majesty of it, but they don't want to take on the responsibility once they really get into it.
Right.
So
And in the
that's
words
what
of
I.
Cat Williams, they don't want a piece of it; they want the whole thing.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Because I'm just like, there is no way in hell. I don't care if we're in this experience or not. There is no way you are going to tell me that I'm spoken for. Because last time I checked, I am a whole individual. Last time I checked, I mean, unless you know how to use my mouth, I can use my own mouth. So that was just.
When it comes to Janelle, honey, this is my thing. Don't stake claim to nobody that you're not ready to commit to. Don't sit there and talk
Absolutely.
about how this is your man and you staking claim to him, but you're really not ready to claim him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
the game. You
I
way too
agree.
old to be playing this game.
Yep. I totally agree.
Now, if you want to take claim to this man and you want to say that, you really want to put forth the effort and not just say it, then all right, we're good. But
Yep.
until then, no, honey, you don't have nobody. And I don't see no connections with nobody. I don't even see your connection with Quentin anymore. I tried because it seemed like you was trying to give your all to at least, Herbert and Quentin and at
Yeah.
least give some time. But no, now it just seems more so like you just want to be that it girl. You want to be chosen. So right now you're just kind of putting yourself out there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and listen, I've been riding for Janelle pretty much the whole season. But that right there, it just made me feel like I'm sorry. Like no matter how much I want my face to be that chair, I can't. I can't do that because at the end of the day, if you're this insecure about me being at a grill, I cannot imagine you being insecure on a vacation. I can't imagine you being insecure with me trying
Honestly.
to do something nice for somebody. Like anything I do, if I make the wrong move, it's a battlefield. And if I step on the wrong mine, my mental is blown. Everything is blown because it's not up to your standards, qualifications, or requirements. Where they do that at?
Twitter. Like, let's look
I
at this
agree with that.
comment. Staten said, Q was hers in the bedroom. Now they are out of the bedroom. She thinks they are together. The devil is alive. They are definitely doing more than what is shown on TV, obviously, because the way she is so like, it's crazy. It's allegedly said nobody comes for me. This is the way people behave when they probably slept with somebody. So they have to act like possessive, especially when they know that this person is still going out with multiple other women. That's why every single person, I don't want to kiss this guy on the show. I don't want to sleep with this person when I'm in this show, because you are going to end up wasting your kisses. You're going to end up wasting all your emotions, because you are not going to be the only person they are going to be dating. So the fact that she doesn't
Correct.
understand that this process, you would not be the only one. And till date, you're acting like he has asked for your hands in marriage and everything. It's embarrassing because you are just showing how toxic and how desperate you have to be in that relationship. And most times when people show themselves that way, they end up getting used.
Yeah.
Now,
No, very well said.
Marva said Janelle thinks she can have all because she's light skinned, and she got shocked that she's not a queen.
I'll say this. I think that whether you're light or dark, we're all still black. But I do get what you're saying, right? Because there is some concept of privilege there, but I think that has to do more with mindset. Mava, I really do. I think that that's mindset because at the end of the day, your skin color is your skin color, your mindset is your mindset. So to me, that was not her being light skinned. That was just being who she was in that moment. That was her mindset.
You
I'm
know what?
falling
Hold
and
on.
I
I'm gonna
need
have
to
to
I need to grab onto something.
listen. I'm a agree and I'm a disagree at the same time because matter of fact, I think it was me and you, Braylon, that was talking earlier, and I
Hmm.
actually kind of brought up that point, the fact that
Yes, she
her,
did.
being a little bit lighter, she feels like she's prettier, and that's why for her to attack another woman and talk
Right.
about how she's ugly and don't come after the looks. Why is that always what women go to to try to
Exactly.
discourage another woman? you
Right.
know you're a bitch, you're a hoe, you're
Hmm.
everything in the book. You're ugly, you're too black, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too wide. But guess what, at the end of the day, that same person that you're talking all of that mess about, if
Hmm.
their heart is more pure than yours, they will look better than you, even on your best day.
Absolutely. And not to mention too, when she said what she said, like Katarina's a beautiful young lady. Like really, really though, really. That was just she was doing that to say anything
Hmm.
for real.
Hmm.
Like that was so that was so uncalled for.
Yeah. And then to make it even worse is that she wasn't just saying that about Katarina. She said, these ugly bitches. So
Right.
that means there's a few of them that you're considering. And I'm
Now
gonna tell you
now
something.
mhm.
There's a lot of them. They're all beautiful to me. Not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not coming after no woman and her looks because they all have their own beauty and their own
Absolutely.
quality to them. But for you, and you guys are all supposed to be high standard women, and that's what you want to do is attack the appearance, the outward appearance. Honestly, honey, if that's all you can say about them, you know what? Go back to school because I'm sorry. Give
Now
that
now
plate back because you didn't eat, baby. You
right.
did not.
Now I'm just gonna say this part. Janelle, when you said ugly itches, did that include your friend Jessica?
Ooh, you know what? I'm about to pause, mute.
Because she's in that experience with you. Am I not correct? So you said
Lord.
ugly itches. which means plural, which means more than one? I'm just asking a
Yeah,
question.
yeah. Specify. Don't let it just be, like I said, don't attack a woman's appearance. What else is there, Janelle? What else do you have? Because you're not getting your way and the men aren't clamoring all over you and want to be sucked up under your ass like that
You know,
because the
I
other
didn't
women are getting
realize that this
attention.
was
They're
going to
ugly.
happen. I
They're
told you,
ugly
the
because they're
person
getting
that
attention.
always, the person that always has the most connections, like initially, will always turn out to be ugly at the end. It's like every single year that this thing happens, every single season, the person that always has like one, like four, five connections, always turns out to be a bad person. And I don't know how they always end up having people liking them. Maybe because she's financially
Stay tuned. I
comfortable,
I agree with that.
confident, or something.
Basically, ask the question: Why are you single?
Yep.
What's the real?
Yeah.
There's got to be something, honey, because it's not. Trust and believe. Remember, it's not your looks because you look good.
At
It's
41.
not your body because your body yada yada. In.
Single at
So, what
41.
is it?
Yep.
Q, you wanted to say something?
I said being single at 41. You don't have the time to figure it out now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time to look at yourself.
You
Uh,
know, you know, you know. I
let's go
would.
ahead and let's dive deeper into that. I'm sorry, but Bray,
No,
but
no, you're
let's
good.
dive deeper into that one. 41, single, never married, no kids.
Not by your choice.
You know what? You know what nephew Tommy should have done. Remember how he said, remember how Janelle said, "Do you have a baseball?" And
Hmm.
he was like, "No, but I should have one." And I gave my prediction what the curveball should have been. There should have been two curveballs. My curveball, and then be like, you know what, y'all? I got a little surprise for y'all. Nobody's gonna get eliminated this week because you know what? I think it is so unfair that the ladies got to bring their best friends in. I think the fellas should bring their best friends in, or better yet, y'all got to meet the men's exes. Fellas, I think you should meet the ladies'
Good
exes.
comment.
Yeah,
That should have been the twist right there. Nobody gets eliminated, but
I
y'all
thought
get to
about
meet the
that one
females'
now.
exes. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
That would have been a good damn episode.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I feel like the men should have gotten an opportunity to meet the women's exes so that they could kind of see
Yep,
just
fair,
the
fair should be
the
fair.
same way as the women did. Men, y'all should have gotten the opportunity as well to be able to see, like, hey, how was they in their last relationship? Just like at the very beginning when it was Kira and
But
what's
what
the
if my
name?
ex
And they
is
was
bitter?
huh?
I don't want to meet anybody's ex. I'm sorry. Because what if
Oh,
my ex is bitter?
Well, hold on. The thing about it is, though, they got to pick their exes. So you can pick the ex
Exactly.
that you were best friends with, an ex that really wasn't even an
Hmm.
ex,
What
but y'all
if
might
I
have
dated
slept
only
together twice.
one person? You know, some people have dated only one person for a long time.
Well,
Except if you
true.
want to bring
I
feelings
mean
and
that.
all that. So
I
it's
mean,
like,
right. But I mean that is true, Salam. But at the end of the day, fair is fair. Even if it was only one ex, I would have thought that would have been fair. Because
And
honestly, to
no,
tell you the
no.
truth, it would have gave more context for the men to also have
but Braden,
autonomy mentally.
let me tell you one thing. If
Sure.
my ex asked me to come on that show as a me, I'm not going on that show. I'm not going on that show to sit there and talk to her potential and telling her and him about our relationship. You know what I'm saying? To me,
That's fair. That's fair. I
I
can
won't do it.
respect that.
I feel like that part of the show is strictly just for women. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman gonna look deeper into who you were than vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That's why I would say even if I was to bring um I like the part when the guys bring their friends, you know what I'm saying, and they
Right.
invite their friends to their new, significant other. You know what I mean? Your friend gonna help
Right.
you see things that you're not gonna be able to see. But the whole
Sure.
ex situation, it can go so many different directions. And a lot of times, you got some people that still want to be with people. You know what I mean? The only thing they want to do
Right.
is
Yeah.
turn somebody else from,
No, that. Hmm.
on
you
the
know what I'm saying, from that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I would. And my ex
That's
called.
that's the curveball that I see happening is the fact that it's like, damn, what really happened in y'all's relationship? Do you really want
Right.
to be with this person still? Because I'm gonna tell you, sometimes being around your ex, it will make you realize, like, damn, I might have missed you. Hold
Right.
on. Maybe
That's
maybe we need to rework this. It's been a year, it's been 2 years since we dated. Hold on, let's you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
I
I
will
honestly feel
marry
like maybe that could have been the issue with a lot of them is the fact that they were still fresh out of relationships
you.
because even Janelle said she was fresh out of a relationship before getting on the show. So a lot of them still could hold those feelings for their exes. So I could see that where it's like, nah, that's not a good idea. But then again, I feel like it's a good idea because we need to start vetting people. When you get in a relationship, you need to vet them. Like
Absolutely.
people are picky. They will go to a restaurant and get mad because they got cheese on a burger that they didn't want, and they will cause hell. But yet you're telling me that you won't cause that same hell to be have peace in your life and your relationship?
No, absolutely right. And unprovoked auntie,
Mm-mm.
I totally can agree with your take. That you don't know how I feel about that because at the end of the day, everybody has a different tolerance for how they want to be discovered, right? In terms of being known for being the potential of a partner in someone's life. And Q, I love you, bro, and I totally get where you're coming from a personal point of view. But because this is a dating show,
Mhm.
if I, as a man on the show, am looking for the love of my life, I need to know if I'm being discovered. You all be discovered too.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like I feel like it's a reason why they asked the woman. You know what I'm saying? No, there's a reason why they asked the man to bring their ex. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a woman would go in grave detail better. And it's like the what's a man named Chris? His old lady sat there and described what it was like to be with him. You know what I'm
to
saying?
be in the servitude and everything else. But also
Right.
too, we got to recognize this too. In that same instance, Q,
Mhm.
Chris did step up to say that you know what, I was not at my best, and he apologized for that because we got to recognize that even though women have trauma in relationships, men also have trauma in relationships too.
Absolutely.
So, that dude could have been like, hey, listen, let me tell you something. I tried to call, I tried to text, I tried to do game nights on Friday nights, and she wouldn't give me anything. And I think that to your point, Q,
Mhm.
because of society pressures of women are about being deep, men are about surface. Every man is not the same, just like every woman isn't the same. So I think it would have been nice
Yeah.
for those men to be able to bond together of, listen, I feel you. And at this point, I'm letting it go. But as another black man, I want you to succeed. That would have been great TV.
I mean, that sounds all well and good, but what's the
Well,
possibility of that happening?
honestly,
You know what I'm saying? That what's
but
that it
it could actually
I,
turn bad.
No,
I see where you're
and
coming
I'm not,
from.
I'm not disagreeing with y'all on that.
I
Not
see.
one bit.
I see exactly where you're coming from, and I really do. And in the perfect world, that would work out perfectly. You know what I'm saying? That really would. But for that to actually happen, you know what I'm saying? I really just don't see that happening. You know what
I
I'm saying? Just
feel you.
because
I
men
do.
are more territorial than women.
That
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
facts.
Way
That's
more
very
territorial.
facts.
So you bring another brother on this show that I'm trying to holler at. Ain't no telling if they still got feelings for each other. This, woo, woo. You know what I mean? You never know. You know what I mean? And then for
Right.
a woman to bring a man on the show, I'm pretty sure they still dealing with him on the low. It's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Right.
a woman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't see that
So
part
let's
working out as well.
it it just doesn't work anyways. So
No,
let's move
understood.
anyways. So
Because I was
Yeah.
thinking
Spider
about this
feels
in
the relationship
reality.
of Chris and Lee.
Oh, sleeper. That's a
What are you
sleeper
saying?
connection. I'm liking that connection.
Uh,
That connection makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that because in that moment there, when Lee said use your muscles, it's like you ain't said nothing but a word.
Yeah.
And I loved their easiness,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved how Lee showcased her diversity of her softer side of like I just want to go somewhere we get everything that when we get there. And what that showed me was Chris is about what he says that he wants.
Mm-hmm.
When he said he wanted a softer side, he
Right. Yeah.
leaned into that. So it's not like Chris is not owning up to what he wants. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I thought that was a great,
I definitely,
engagement
yeah.
of energy.
I like them two together, and I agree with you, with Q. Sleeper couple. I could actually see it because it seems like they actually have more in common, and they mesh well, very, very well together. Like I feel like with her doing, fitness, he's into that. And just like she said, I want somebody that can actually handle me. And handling me is not just in the bedroom, but that's all the way around. So
Hmm.
for him to be able to, you know, afford that lifestyle or even be able to give her that or want to, because there's a lot of men that they'll say they want to do that, but then when it comes time and they get the opportunity, they're looking like, well, how am I supposed to do it if I can't do this? No. So I can see them two being actually together outside of the cameras,
Agreed.
Yeah,
outside of the
I agree.
show. Like
I
I just
agree.
see them working on something, traveling on some real shit. I'm gonna tell you, look at her. I can see her little pretty self in some African garment and going back over there to Nigeria or wherever he's from
Absolutely.
Nigeria, right? Like I'm sorry, she's beautiful. Like do it, honey.
Absolutely.
Listen,
And stay.
I love my garments. Let me tell you. So I love seeing black people, you know, wearing our natural garments, period. But them two
Absolutely.
together, honey, picture perfect. Yes.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, Lee is that woman that, in the words of Neo, Neo did a song on the Princess and the Frog soundtrack called The Best Thing I Never Knew I Needed. That's what Lee is. She's always been around. She's the around the way girl. That's the one for me. And you just needed time to see that. That's who Lee is. And stay tuned review. I agree with you. I mean, listen, I want to be at the workout, and listen, I didn't even want to work out anything. You understand?
Oh, I
So
thought you
listen,
liked Janelle.
Listen, I wanted to be her pants, okay? I wanted to be them yoga pants. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not. I ain't gonna lie. Listen.
listen. I want to be her damn lips moving. Okay, listen. You understand?
I ain't lie. I want to be that hill that thigh was on. I'm trying to tell you.
Let, let me tell you,
Your leg is
thighs,
out.
the hips, and the body were
Listen,
all out of you.
I wanted to be the back part that went down in the V. I just wanted to be the V. Just
Listen,
Listen,
point to the way.
Uncle Tommy said
listen.
that thigh is out. I ain't lying.
No. He said that leg is out.
That leg is
Forget
out. I
thigh.
ain't
He
lying.
said the leg
The
is
leg
out.
is
Okay.
out. Yes. And people, yeah.
But I think the way that the show is set up, I'm kind of glad that we seen this connection a little later on because
Yep.
it makes more
I
sense.
agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that
Hmm.
she doesn't have. I'm glad her and Quentin did not work out. It might aesthetically, it might look good together just because they got the
yeah.
same profession, but Quentin does not deserve her. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Quentin like foolish.
Yeah.
Quentin likes foolishness. That's why he's talking to Janelle.
And not
Quentin
to
Quentin
mention,
said
likes.
and
something that was so key, and a lot of people probably missed this, but you got to pay attention. Quentin said, I don't like being single. Honey, that means that
yep,
you jumping and you will go for anything. And you're not
yep.
even worried about the if it's right. You're thinking of the right now.
No, absolutely right. And not to mention too, if you noticed in the car ride how Lee said, I want, Quinn to go over there. Basically just saying she's done with Quinn. And how Katarina said, well, I want to talk to Chris. So it seemed like what they wanted actually happened in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hold on. Lee let it be known. She said, look, I guess we a car full of sister wives. Well, damn. Let's make this a
Yes,
show.
Listen.
all of them actually had like connection with Chris. And outside the show, they are all like very close friends. She came live after the episode and she was like, at this point, she already like gave up on Quentin because it was just like Janelle. And then they had like a better connection, but for some reasons best known to him, it was just like focused on Janelle. I don't
Mhm.
think they're together currently, but he was way too focused and then he would always like go back and like say some things. It's like playing the game, trying to make sure that she's there. The same game that
Right.
Maury is playing, the number game, because I don't know from where Maury got all these connections, but to God be the glory for him. So it's like,
Listen,
I should, like
Almost
putting
spit out my
some.
wine. Oh my god.
Lee is a soft life kind of girl. She doesn't like
hmm
stress. She doesn't like she doesn't basically like stress, but she likes workouts because her body is
Yep.
superb. So she fits Chris or a man like Chris. She fits someone that is traditional because she's soft, she's like very calm. She does not need someone that is going to be wanting someone that is too high, far too. She needs a man that will take care of her. She's a baby girl. And that's why she resonates even outside the show with Chris. Because I think what people are not understanding from Chris is that, as I keep saying, in our tradition, there's nothing like, oh, the woman pays the bill. You have your money, you make your money, but it's your money. Except if like the family comes down with some sort of problem,
hmm
it's
Yeah.
your money. So the man takes care of all the bills. We go to eat, it pays. We want to build a house, it pays. But my name will be in the certificate or the documents because I
Right.
mean,
Mhm.
why in a relationship? So
And isn't it interesting that you that I think it was I think Gigi said that Lee and Chris are great friends outside the show and everybody likes Chris. But
Hmm.
Janelle, didn't you
yeah,
say that
everybody
Chris?
likes him.
But didn't you say that Chris was you know not
Yeah,
understanding, not
yeah.
accountable, and
Almost
this and that,
narcissistic.
but yet he's friends with everybody outside the show and everybody's not liking you on the show. Ain't that something?
It is.
Ain't that something?
Hmm. As the
Mm,
wheels turn,
mm,
because
mm,
B.
mm,
Shirley
mm.
is showing her colors before it was, it made it like she was misunderstood and she just didn't understand where all of the backlash was coming from. But
Yep.
it's like, girl, no, we see it. We definitely see it. And it seems like Chris honestly is more likable. Like okay, so if we're saying outside the show, maybe not even just with connections, on a relationship wise.
Mhm.
But Chris, I do feel like he is a very personable person. Like he just has that personality that you could be friends with him. You could talk to him on the phone.
Absolutely.
He's not all about, the physical or just about sex. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that you could be friends, like he could be a really good male friend. And if it turned into something else, it would be just as good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He definitely is a homeboy. Like I feel like if me, Q, and Chris went out, we will all have a good time. He seems like that
Hmm.
type of dude. For real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I
absolutely.
agree with that. Yeah, I agree. But the thing about it is, Chris, the thing about it is when I look at Janelle and you see, I remember at the beginning of the show, she was beefing with the girl who was kind of what's the girl name who got kicked off the show? Uh,
Tranquilla, Tequila,
not Tequila, the other one, the girl that was with the
Tequila.
white boots,
Kira.
Kira.
Karen. Now she beefing with Kat. It was somebody else she was beefing with too. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like that she brings a lot of that on herself, and she really feel like she's
Mhm.
better than everybody.
Hmm.
That's what I really feel like.
No, I can definitely agree with that. And she was beefing with Tequila, but however, in the same token though, like that was circumstantial of that Tequila didn't have anybody, and so she did what she needed to do. And
Right.
Janelle felt disrespected, which was a valid point. And I said this in our panel that everybody is a freak. It just takes the right person to bring it out of you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, in that situation, was it the most respectful thing to say? No, but I believe Janelle knows that she's got the buy. Where if it was said in the bedroom, she would say, "Yeah, and come get it."
Mhm.
Yeah, if the cameras was off, I feel like it'd be totally different. But
Yeah,
again, we have to ask, are you looking for love or are you looking for bodies? Which one?
yeah.
Because y'all can all bust down Tatiana's butts down. You know what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is this is ready to love.
hmm
Outside of, like I said, the physical, and I'm gonna say this until they get it. Besides your physical appearance, what do you have? What
Mm-hmm.
are you about? Because Janelle, you're showing us that what they said about you being a mean girl, honey. You're showing that, and you're supposed to be damn near the oldest one. Mm-mm. The
I can,
calculations, they're not adding up. The math's not
yeah,
math, and I'm not getting it.
right.
So
I
this
can,
would be
I
the
can,
time that I would need for her to come on the come and everybody else and commented. Janelle, you went
mm-hmm,
live before, baby. I need you to help us understand.
right.
Why do you feel that it's necessary to deplete your own value?
No, I agree, and I cannot wait till we get to game night because I told you I had song reference how Janelle really is as a person. And I cannot wait to get to that song reference because y'all are going to flip. Y'all are so going to flip.
Stay tuned. I doubt that Chris is going to get eliminated next because anytime they show someone in that kind of like path, they don't get eliminated. It will probably have like a
I see
confrontation with
my
one of the
yeah.
women. So I don't think he gets eliminated. It would just be something that the person would say that would probably trigger him to say this that he said
Eh,
some quite questionable things this episode. We're going to get to them. But now let's talk about Sierra. So we had two bottom girls, Sarah and Jessica. I already said it that Jessica is going to be struggling because now all the ladies are fighting for Moray.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I get to the stage where, no offense, Moray is my last option, I will self
Right.
eliminate because why?
No, I agree
No,
with you,
no,
but
no beef.
mhm, right. No, I can definitely I agree with you, Solana. And you know what? I want to say this. Shout out to Sierra. Because in the digital exclusive, it showed that she has so much soul to her. And not to speak for Sierra, but I think that she uses that fun side to her as a coping mechanism. And we all have a coping mechanism. But the conversation that Phil and Sierra had showed me why she got casted for the show. And I loved the fact that Sierra evolved her mindset about love within this episode. Because at the end of the day, to me, even though she had her stance of I'm not being pursued, at least she showed emotion to it. Whereas Jessica was cold, calculated, and just really, um, how shall I put this? The house is not a home because there's nothing filling, there's nothing inside the home that has purpose. And with that being said, and when we get to the cookout and everything else, how Marie is. And now, first of all, I'm just gonna say this: why in the hell did y'all not get Grand Marie for a weekend getaway? Y'all know his damn name is Marie. I am disappointed in the production staff. Okay, just aside. But anyway, so Marie is sitting there and just waiting for his play. And I'm just like, okay, it depends on the circumstance. If we all are in a weekend getaway, one thing that I do if I'm in line, if it's three people, I'll get three paper plates and pass them back because that's just the type of brother I am. But if it's a weekend getaway, get up and make your own damn plate because I felt like that was a cheap move from Jessica, a very cheap move.
That was
Like,
so
no.
desperate.
That was beyond
He
desperate. And I'm sorry,
welcomed it.
Maria.
It almost feels like he's gloating that he has so many girls that are desperate to get him just because there's like shortage of like good guys. So it's
Yeah,
like,
there's
oh
a
my
shortage of
god, I'm
men.
hot cake at this point. So I might as well just like see down these ladies that are going to be desperate for my attention. Did you hear the comment he made about Jessica saying that he has to lose or something like that when he was
Oh,
talking about women are attracted.
it's Jessica's game to lose.
Yes, it's
Mm-hmm.
Jessica's
That's
game
what he
to
said.
lose.
And you know what?
Like,
Honestly,
dude,
I'm gonna
like,
say this: Maria was sitting at that table while Jessica was in there fixing his food. Now, granted, she wanted to. She said she was
mhm.
going to do that. She said she was going to pick it up, throw it away, and now for him dessert if he wanted it. Hey, honey, do what you do. Not gonna knock you. But I'm gonna tell you now, this man was sitting here at that table looking like he just got kicked out of the cafeteria. Like he looked like he was in trouble. He was in detention by himself. Can't nobody come talk to him. Put your head down. You better not say a word. If you see this door open, you better not lift your head up. Why was he sitting there at that table looking like a child waiting to get fed? Like,
Right.
Yes.
no.
And every single person was were like they were fixing their own plates.
Hmm.
And you were just sitting down there.
Yeah.
This
No.
is not.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you something. Phil and Aries have a great connection. I didn't
They
see her
do.
fixing his plate.
I mean, they might have didn't show it,
They might have didn't, but from what I seen and what they did show was they asses was all in line.
Yep.
Wasn't nobody else sitting at that table.
but it's
Not.
another
Not.
thing. Too. It's another thing too, and I realized they made it seem like Jessica and Chris hate each other when they were having that conversation in front of the grill. No, when they was having a conversation in front of the grill, with Katarina, Janelle,
Oh, you mean the
Quint.
fireplace in the foyer? Yes. Yes.
No,
Yes.
no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
When Quint was cooking the food,
Oh
Right.
yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
right
Gotcha. My
directly.
bad, bro. My bad.
You good, Bubba? Right behind that, right behind when he was cooking, Chris and Jessica were having a conversation, sitting down at the table talking.
I didn't see that.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Yes,
in the background you could see like
in the
it seemed like they
background.
were all talking. They was it almost like you could see that they had skipped the editing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It looked like they probably been sitting down there. Everybody was around talking. You know what I'm saying? But there wasn't any bad blood or beef, and you could see that.
Right. Oh, okay. You know
So
what? I think I get what you're saying. Q and Gigi is the fact of don't put on this persona that he's that bad of a dude, but yet you sit down with him and you just pretend nothing happened. I got y'all. I got y'all. Because yeah, that would piss me off too. Like if you don't like me as a connection, why are you talking?
don't come
exactly,
hard on
exactly.
camera
I mean, you
when
would
you're in
have to talk to
confessionals.
somebody. You guys are in one space, and he has been shading her in the confessional. So we cannot call Chris an innocent person.
Well,
No,
well,
that's
I mean,
that,
Saying
and
some
that's
pretty
exactly what I'm
shady
saying.
things about her.
That's exactly what I was saying. Don't shade me on camera and then act like when you think the camera's not looking, you want to act like we're cool and we could just sit there and talk. Because
exactly,
that's
but
And
exactly
that's
what
just
it was
so
that he was
wrong.
doing. He has shaded her so many times, basically cut her off, let it be known like, nothing would happen. Basically, I don't want to communicate with you, but then turn around and it looks like you just got done telling me a joke because we laughing together. You know what I'm saying? Or we're even able to
Yes.
hold a conversation sitting next to each other. Like, show that we was able to reconcile or
yeah,
talk about
absolutely.
that or something. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Don't
yeah.
just don't play this game. You're playing in my
Right,
face, and
The
that's what it seems like. Don't.
production is the one playing the game because I'm
Yeah.
sure they probably have like a taping of something about them making up or something. Because
oh,
you can see that
absolutely.
even though she made several comments that did not fit he made several comments that did not fit with her spirit, she did not take any offense. It was Janelle blowing things out of proportion. We're going to get to that later, but that's just it. For Sierra, I feel her problem is that she she put forth too much her how would I put it, her playful persona too much that people oh, I can hear myself. Okay, I can remember yet. She put up that persona to meet people. And one thing I do tell people is that when you get to people and tell someone, I'm the kind of person that if you get to me and you're like, oh, I want to be your friend, I have a problem
Hmm.
with myself that if you tell me, oh, I want to be your friend, you cannot cross the boundary of friendship with me. I just cannot see
Right.
myself being more than a friend with you. So whenever I meet people, I do tell them or I do ask them, are you sure you want to be my friend? And I do tell people like upfront that once we become friends, I can never have any romantic or whatever kind of feelings with you. So her problem was that she put forth friendship first before she put up any sexual attraction or any kind of like romantic kind of like attraction forward to the other people. So now everybody sees her as a friend. Even Moray did not really see her as a connection. The only reason
Right.
why they started showing Moray and Sierra was because of he got desperate when he lost his connection with Janelle and Jessica. So he decided to look for someone at the scrap at the bottom that would probably have like one kind of connection, some with someone, or someone that had no connection that he could hinge on. And so it was like, oh, who doesn't have? And it's like, oh, Sierra doesn't have any connection because she just doesn't have any connection. And I've been pointing that out since the beginning. That's the only reason why Monray and Sierra has a connection. And because the connection was built up based on friendship, it's actually people don't understand that. It's actually really hard to overcome friendship feelings for somebody.
No, I can definitely see what you're saying. I think in the same token, I've heard this that, the best way to start a relationship is as a friend, right? I mean, let's just say that if I was attracted to you, Solana,
I
right?
don't think
And
that statement is correct. I
I,
think the
hey,
best way to start a relationship is being friendly.
no, for sure. I totally agree. I'm just giving the other point of view of why maybe that person is saying that they want to be a friend. Because if I'm first meeting you and do you want to be friends? Well, yeah, obviously I do because I want to get to know you. Somebody's not going to just say, yeah, I want to be in a relationship, and you're like, wait, if you're not attracted to them, then that's dead in the water. So I totally get what you're saying, but I truly do think that of course everybody moves differently, but I'm actually proud of the fact that Sierra still showcased that friendly side. Because here's the thing: if you can't deal with a person as who they are in conversation and have fun with them, there's not going to be any way for you to evolve with that, right? So I mean, but hey, to each their own. But I definitely see your point though.
I feel like when it comes to Sierra and even Marie's connection, they both have like I don't feel like Jessica. Of course, we see Jessica didn't step back from Oye, so he didn't lose that connection. But he had to gain another one because it wasn't solidified with Jessica. Like he doesn't have a strong enough connection with her to
Correct.
only really be giving himself to her. So now he had to go find somebody else, which was Sierra, because Sierra has had not one connection. I haven't seen her with one person that she has said that she liked Herbert and all that, but it was never really seen even in her confessionals, even in different scenes that they showed,
Correct.
there was really no connection with her or anyone else. So now for her to be pulling Marie aside, I feel like it is all about staying alive at this point. Like
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with
she
that.
has to have someone. And right now Marie is like he's the hey, I can hold on to you because you don't have anyone really, I don't have anyone. So if we make this pact type thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Hmm.
that's what it almost seems like. But I feel like they're both the homie. So it's not going to work the way that they're really seeing it. And
I can
also,
agree with that.
I'm gonna say this too. I want to be homies with my man. I like being homies. Like what?
Absolutely.
You don't understand how cool it is to be able to actually joke with somebody. They get your humor
Yep.
and they can actually kind of mesh with it. You don't have people judging you because what you might find funny because the way that you might deal with your emotions or the way that you just deal with life period might be a little bit different than people, and people like to judge that. So instead of having somebody that's always going to judge you, why not have somebody that you can actually be best friends with, that you can talk to, and you can actually feel that, hey,
Hmm.
on my weakest day, I have somebody who can help build my strength. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
I definitely want a friend in my relationship. Have to.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But what Mario is saying that he don't know what love is, and he's never been in love, and he's never done.
Hmm.
How can you put yourself out there to say that you're ready to love if you never felt like you've been in love before? You
Well, I
do
mean
the
the.
women on the show a disservice. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I
Because
mean
they
the.
are
I mean.
prepared. They for
I
him
mean
to
the.
sit there and ask
Hmm.
Sierra, my fault, Bubba, not to cut you off.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
And for her to ask Sierra, how should I love you? You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be an ongoing thing right there. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can't show somebody that you love them. That I mean, you. I just didn't agree with that statement that he made. Now,
Well, I
him
mean,
and
well, I
Jessica
mean,
would probably work.
Now, hold on.
sure.
I'm gonna have to say. Go ahead, Braylon, and I'll
No,
piggyback
no,
off of you because I already know you
no,
got a point.
no. I was just going to say, we're a very open panel, and at the end of the day, this is all for issues and giggles. But we did talk before we got on live backstage, and I was saying to you, Q, that I get what you're saying, right? This is called Ready to Love. But what did I say in the last panel? That with these parasocial relationships and how we watch these shows as relationships because they're in our lives once a week, we put expectations on a show that we set ourselves up to fail. It's called Ready to Love.
Mhm.
But that's in the eye of the beholder. You can watch Ready to Love and say, oh my God, this show is about actually being ready to love. While someone else may say, okay, this is the process of what it is to become ready to love. So I feel like he said, and I think he was very vulnerable in that moment, that at the end of the day, it's not that he doesn't have it. Maybe he just never had it because he's never felt it. So maybe he went on this experience to be able to evolve in his process of what it is to be ready to love for who he is as a person. Because think about how many men and women are in that situation. They're good people to good people. They handle their business and they're not asking for the world. They're just asking to be respected as a human being. And that's hard to find. So and like I said, I totally agree with you. If you're going on this show to find the love of your life, you should be completely ready. But just because you're ready to love doesn't mean that you don't have other areas that are ready for life and for love.
But for him to sit there and say he been in a relationship with a girl for 2 years, you've been in a relationship with a woman for 2 years, and you never loved her.
He's
What you want to love her
lying,
for?
please.
Well, I mean that
Because
happens
what
more often than we
exactly was
think.
it makes no sense.
Who was
What
saying?
exactly
Look,
was the
maybe he was
saying
being
that
honest because
relationship?
you gotta think. A
If
lot
he
of people
lied, that
confuse.
means he's a red flag to date.
I mean, it could be,
Because
but
why
listen,
would
y'all
you be
gotta
in a relationship
understand.
for 2 years with somebody you don't love? 2 fucking years. You wasted this
Convenience. See, this is what
woman's
y'all don't
life.
understand.
two
It's
years.
convenience. I'm gonna tell you something. It's convenience because I don't. It's convenience will play a factor, and a lot of times people confuse love and lust. Okay, those are two totally
Hmm.
different things, but yet they can actually look the same, and they will make you stay and have feelings that you've never felt before, and you will
Hmm.
think you love this person so much, but really y'all don't get along. You're arguing all the time, but yet you just can't leave, and you just don't understand why it is that you can't get out of this situation. You know, in your head, you're telling yourself every single day
But
you don't want to be in this situation or with this person, but yet for
But
some
that's just
reason you're still
excuses.
there.
I'll
Marvin,
It
give you.
happens.
I'll
Now,
give you.
I'm not
Excuses.
saying that he's never felt love. I'm not going to fully agree with him and say that he hasn't, but I'm going to say
Because
maybe he hasn't felt it in the way that he thinks love is supposed to be. Because, Braylon, I'm going to piggyback off you, like
he
I said.
doesn't know what love is.
Exactly. And like I
He
said,
never gets it. He's
he
like,
he
listen to
has to
his
know what it is.
statement.
Maybe he wasn't shown that. What we don't know his life. Maybe what he's seen as love really wasn't love. And not everyone loves the same or wants to be loved the same. So I really respect him and feel like he was vulnerable when he told her, hey, tell me how to love
Yep.
you. Like, don't be afraid to not tell me. Like, I want you to tell me. For me, I felt like that was him opening up and saying, look, so that I can do it the right way. Tell me
Absolutely.
how
And
you want to be
So I'm
loved,
and
not
sorry.
and
me
I,
just
I don't
and
assuming.
agree. I don't
hang
agree
on.
with that statement. I'm
Hang on.
sorry.
Can I give an example real quick? For those of you who remember the season, I think it was season 24 of the Oprah Winfrey Show when it was that two-part interview with Whitney Houston, the last known interview of Whitney Houston, a sit-down interview. How she said that she was with Bobby Brown, and Oprah was like, "How did you know that you were done with him?" It's like, you know how you watch the TV go. So you could be in a relationship where you have lost the love and you're just in that because it's a coping mechanism at that point. And there's circumstances that are in that thing that you're responsible for. That can actually happen. We can't just sit up here and pretend that does not happen, y'all. Come on. I love y'all,
And
but let's
listen,
keep it real.
You guys,
okay, and
can I make my point before
yeah,
you go so that we don't
Yeah.
change?
Yeah.
My
It's all
point is
good.
not that My point is not that he has fallen in love. I'm sorry. My point is that he was lying at that point. Because let's
Agreed.
trace back the
He
statements
was
that
lying
he
at the
made.
point that he has been in
He
love.
said,
You lying.
no, that he has not been in love
He's
and he
not been
doesn't
in
know what
love.
love
Okay.
is. So
I
I'm
agree.
going to change that back. Go to
Okay.
his parents' marriage, as he claimed, using his own words. My parents were in love, they had a good marriage, so he knows what love is. Stop giving me such bloody excuses about the first example of love every single person has is from what? Their parents.
The
So
parents,
if you
yeah.
cannot
Right.
have an iota of example of what you should do to someone you are supposed to love, you need to leave the process because I'm not going to give any excuse to someone that, oh, I've never been in love, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I too have never been in love. But if I'm to date somebody, that's not an excuse not to know what to do. And for you to have to ask her to know what you're going to do. Yes, yes, wait. Don't come at me. Obviously, sometimes someone you're in a relationship with has to tell you what they like and what they do not like. That's different. But for them to tell you consistently how to love them, dude,
Oh no, no, no,
give me
no. Now
rest.
that right there, now that's a no. Because if I have to consistently tell you how to love me, then yeah, you're purposely not doing what I'm telling you.
Exactly. You're
Like,
not
so
comprehending.
yeah, that's different. That I agree with that to the
Absolutely. Yeah,
fullest.
for sure.
Oh yeah, no.
That I can definitely agree with. And I will say this, to Q and Solana, it's all, and yeah, and to the chat and to all the replay people, it's all love here. But I do agree, but I am so glad we're having this conversation because both sides matter here. I'm not trying to be peacemaker just to be peacemaker, but I will say this. Everybody does not come from an example on what to do. There
Mm-hmm.
are some people that come from broken families. There are some people that are broken sons and daughters and everything in between. So at the end of the day, not to mention women ask for this, and that. Just like Chris asked, show your vulnerable side. So are we really going to be upset over a dude asking what to do when that's just something that should be normal? You should want to
Yes,
know how to love your partner or to be the best
Listen
partner.
here. Music Soul
yes.
Child said, "Teach me
Because when
how
you
to
are
love."
dating
Stop.
somebody, when you are dating somebody, it's common sense to look and at the person's reactions. When I'm dating somebody, when I do things, when God, I don't even know why I have to explain this shit. But
Everything
when
is
you're
not
dating
No,
common sense to
somebody,
everybody
hold on,
though.
Savannah. I
you're
get
not
what you
getting it.
say.
Then if you do not have common sense to notice when your partner is not pleased with what you're doing, then please stop putting people through emotional traumas. That's just me because
Right?
I don't want to have to explain to you every single time that your actions
I
are
agree with
wrong.
that.
I do not
Yeah.
like this. I do not like that. Once you see, because you are supposed to be very, for you to like somebody, I'm not even talking about love because that's like a stretch. He said he has
Hmm.
never loved somebody, but he definitely liked his baby mama enough to get her pregnant and to date her for that
Uh
long.
huh.
That
Mm-hmm.
I
So for
agree with
you to
that.
like somebody, you will be able to pinpoint, oh, this person doesn't like this person likes that, this person likes this person like that. Yes, once in a while I'm going to tell you, oh, I like this, oh, I like that. Obviously, everybody's going to say that because sometimes I'm not going to wait for you to know before I say it.
But
But
another thing,
if you are
Mark.
asking me to tell you how to love me, I'm sorry, I'm out of there.
But another
Listen,
thing.
it was done in the beginning. It's different if we've been together and it's after some time that you're saying, okay, no, teach me how to love you. I'm gonna tell you everything up front. We're gonna get
Yep.
this all laid out in the beginning before we even go further so that there isn't any discrepancies. Now, after we've done that, if there's problems, then yeah, now we're the conversation is going to transition because at this point I'm seeing that you're not considering what I've said nor my feelings. And I understand exactly
Hmm.
what you're saying, Ucha, because I'm gonna tell you this. In a relationship, even if you just like someone, definitely if you love someone, you're going to recognize what it is that
Absolutely.
person likes or dislikes without them even having to tell you anything. You will notice it.
Yep.
You start noticing their favorite colors. You start noticing how they like their food. You notice how they wear their clothes. You notice how they like their hair. You notice how they drive, how they smell. When they blow their nose, the sounds it makes. There's so many different things that you will notice just because of the love that you have that this person doesn't even have to tell you.
I agree with
You'll know
that.
that, okay, well, you know what? Every morning, I don't even need you to tell me how you like your coffee, baby, because I can wake you up every morning with your favorite cup. Here you go. Because I know you.
Hmm.
So I completely understand that. It shouldn't
Yeah.
have to be spoken, repeatedly. I shouldn't have to keep repeating myself over and over and over and over again. The beginning, one time, fine. Twice, I'll even understand. But if it goes any further than that, it's
Yeah.
disrespect at that point, and it's showing that you're not giving care, consideration, or are you really even trying to understand the basics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I got that.
I
I get
think
that.
I think we all agree on the fact of just be
Q, do you have
upfront and
anything to say?
accountable.
I think Q was speaking.
Oh, my fault. I don't think I was saying was one thing Mario started. What's the man name? My Grandma Ye was saying at the beginning. At the beginning, Grandma Ye said that
I
he
love it.
wanted to be with his child mom, but he felt like she was still in love with his ex. So the value that he had on her was he loved this woman. He wanted to be with her. He had a child with her. He was trying to set his life up with her, but he could not do it because he felt like she was still in love with her ex. So
Mhm.
that was telling me that he loved that woman. He wanted to be with that woman. He wanted to
Right.
start a life with that woman. He know the things to do. Now the thing about it, he did not understand with Sierra how Sierra wanted to be loved. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
that I can agree with you with.
Now
Absolutely. Absolutely.
one thing about Sierra, you know what I'm saying, and him, their relationship is very light. They have a really good friendship. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get past that friendship to dig more in Sierra. But let's be real, Sierra really ain't feeling that man like that. Sierra really want to keep him at bay. Sierra just really want to be on the show. You know what I'm saying? Sierra cool. I really don't think Sierra's person is there at all. You know what I'm saying? I think Sierra's learning more about herself and learning more about Grandma Ye. But Grandma Ye about to be stuck with Jessica. And so, she about to get kicked off the show.
No, for sure. And like I said, I think we can all agree on the fact of be upfront with how you want to be loved. So I think we all are agreeing. We just are taking different points to get there. I'm ready to get to this game night because, child, this game night had some heat.
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh, let's move on. But I really liked Jessica. Now let's move on to the game night.
Ooh,
Now this
child.
is the place where we had the fun part about the have you had sex with the same sex and all that. Sierra does give the bisexual vibes, so I
Hmm.
was not really shocked. Then it got to the do you believe in gender roles, right?
Yes.
So everybody answered, and then it got to did you notice that Katerina and Chris had almost the same answer? The only thing was that Katerina did not buttress her points, but Chris did. Now, Chris mentions the fact that, oh, he doesn't believe in the feminism that people practice currently, that, what did he even say? I'm trying to put it in his own words.
Do you mean like he didn't
How
believe
did,
in, why men are in leadership roles and that's why women aren't
yes.
because they're
And
emotional?
then women are very emotional. That was very misogynistic. Then he said, "Oh, that he made another comment before the good one. I'm trying to remember the comment he made before the good one. I'm not with my judge currently, anyways. But then he was like, oh, he likes providing, blah blah blah. Then the good part, he likes providing for his woman and everything.
Well, let me say,
Katrina made almost the same comments.
hmm
But my point is, everybody received it. They understood his point. Now my problem with Chris is that before you speak. Arrange the sentences in your head. Replay it. Is this offensive before I put it out? Because it was so obvious that he never processed his thoughts before he spoke. Because
Oh,
saying women are emotional is a lie, because men are emotional. Emotions doesn't have anything to do with sex. And providing should not have caused that much of a reaction from Janelle. Because I don't know why she got triggered by him saying he likes providing for his woman. You all know that Chris is an African man. What exactly were you expecting?
and not to mention too. Let me just say this because Stay Tuned Review said that he will be eliminated on that. I don't think he will,
Yes, you
and
can. Let
and
me
and
drop the
and
link.
and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Because
to pretend you human. Okay, let's know. Let us know.
because
'Cause,
because
yeah.
because to be honest with you, a question was asked, he gave an answer, right? I don't think he was trying to legitimately be mean to all women, right? And you're right. Men are also emotional, correct? So I do agree with that, but I don't think he was trying to be out the way. And I think that's the reason why we don't get far
I think
in
he
in,
did.
in I, I'm just giving my take. That's all. That is all. That's it. That's all. That to me, I don't think he was because it was a game night. He answered a question. I don't think he had any malicious intent. And people do have different points of view. Now, at the end of the day, now if he said, "Well, I think every woman in here, honestly, really are emotional," then that would have been more understandable to me. Okay, so that
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 was the
that's just
same thing. Let's not
no.
try to rationalize what he said. You
Lord
saying
help.
all the
Okay,
women here and women are, what's the difference?
I,
For
trust me.
him
There.
to say, listen, when Chris even made the
Okay.
comment,
Okay.
first off, it was okay. Because when you start out that you're giving your opinion, the question was asked about gender roles. You
Exactly.
feel like the traditional gender roles, hey, if they work for some, they do. But for you in your household, just like he said with the comment with Jessica, you can run your household how you run your household. But in my household, this is how it is. You can't really too much, hate this man for his comment or his feelings of, you know, I would like for my woman to be, woman. If she wants to do whatever she wants with her money, she wants to work, she can.
Exactly.
If she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to. But as far as being who's feminine and who's masculine, that doesn't work for me. What was the big
Right.
deal?
He
Now
was he was he,
the comment and the way that he went about it and some of the shit he said, that's where he messed up. Now,
exactly. But
if
but I,
if he
but
would have just cut it off, he would have been
right.
okay. But he had to
Yep.
keep going.
Yeah. And like Gigi is saying,
Hi,
like I'm saying,
Timothy, how are you?
hi,
I'm
welcome in.
good.
Glad to
I'm
have
good.
you.
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can, Queen. Welcome in. And like I said,
Thank you.
look, compare Chris to what Janelle said about carrying weight and saying to another woman that, oh, we know that was uncalled for. That was absolutely uncalled for because when that happened, let me get on camera because I told you I was going to do a song reference. So this is how I feel that Janelle was. Operator, get my baby on the line. Just the other night, we had a horrible fight. I admit that I was out of control, but I still love my man with my body and soul. That's what Janelle was, okay? She will do anything and everything for attention, and then she'll sing this Ania Baker, I apologize, but don't want to take responsibility. That I cannot tolerate. Chris having his own opinion because a question was asked, and there was worse ways he could say that.
Okay.
No, stop with that. Stop with that. I
I
love y'all, but come
I
on.
don't agree. I'm sorry.
Can I just
Yeah,
interrupt
T
with?
Watson, you can
Yeah. So
speak.
I agree with everything that you just said, kind of. But with Chris, Chris is a disgusting textbook narcissistic. I'm a medical doctor. I'm going to diagnose him right now live on air.
Lord
He's a
help.
covert. He's a covert textbook narcissist that tries to use masculine and feminine gender norms to normalize his abusive behavior. He's not looking for a wife. He's not looking for a lover. He's looking for a mattress, a mule, and a maid. Shout out to Erica Dixon. You know, that's what he's looking for. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for whoever's going to be submissive. And you know, can I say something? Why is it when people tell us who they are, we don't believe them? He's real when he says he doesn't believe in equality. He believes a woman should serve him. His ex-girlfriend said the same thing. And yet these women are still vying for his love. Are they crazy?
No, I don't.
I think one thing you guys do not like. Let me speak from okay.
Oh,
I'm
Lord
not to
Jesus.
bash Chris. I think I'm the best person to explain Chris' point of view, anyways. So, Chris is my brother from the same tribe. Now, one thing I would say is,
Wow.
You know what? I would say
as I
something
said,
because
Chris did not think about his statement because this is what they say to their fellow friends. Men do not understand the meaning of feminism. Like, go on the road, take a mic, take a video camera, ask 10 men what's the meaning of feminism. Most of them do not have any idea about it. Now, that's the comment I was trying to remember. Because when he talked about feminism, what did he talk about? Nothing that had to do with feminism. And this is it's something we've seen several times in the African community amongst the men. Now, his understanding of what a woman should bring in a relationship is understandable from an African point of view, because it's something that I do understand. Over here, as I said several times, the women work. There's nothing like, even if they say traditional wife, you will still work, or they don't understand all this, you will not work, you will work. But the men take care of all the bills. So that's why he has always said, oh, I want a calm woman, or I want a woman that is not so assertive. Or the comments that he made to precede or to describe what he wanted were very offensive. That's why I started my comments saying that he should next time, when trying to present his point, think about it that, are you going to offend people when you make these statements? Because that was exactly what happened. It was offensive. But to me, an African, a Nigerian at that, I understood, because this is something I've heard several times. Now, education is quite important here, because when he was talking about the feminism, I was quite shocked. Shocked, not shocked, because I've heard it several times. But for someone who has lived in the US for so long, I sort of expected better. And for you to make that comment in the presence of so many women who are career women, it was such weird. But you could see that it shifted the time he said, I would love to provide for my woman. Most of the women were down for that.
Because that's what they used to trick you. That's what they used to trick you. He believes in his statement.
That's how they are.
No.
Okay, wait 1 minute. Wait one damn minute. Now,
they love to provide.
Okay.
Now I can't say it's a trick, because there's
That's how our tradition is. The woman works, but the man has to provide all the money.
Okay.
And that's how he was trained. That's what people are not understanding. And I think that's why he should explain himself better than just jumping into conclusion. And the statement saying that Jessica is going to be 60-year-old with cats,
because that's what he thinks.
No. I'm going to respond. Okay. Because at the end of the day, this is a reality show about what you believe about love for you and how ready you are. That was his opinion. Anybody could have said that about somebody being with cats or dogs or goldfishes or whatever the hell. So we want to get rid of that. Number two, to assume a person is a narcissistic person from 40 minutes on TV without commercials, 60 minutes with, you weren't there. None of us were there. Not
this is
to
this is
mention,
what I'm
no,
trained in.
oh, no,
This is what I'm trained in. This is what I'm trained in.
Hold on, calm
I
down,
get
Braylon.
I
Calm
get
down,
lost in the
Bray.
middle of the patient.
Calm
This
down,
is what
Bray.
I'm trained in.
no,
This is what I'm
no,
trained in.
Okay,
This
hold
is
on.
what
We're
I'm
gonna take
trained
a
no.
in.
timeout. We're gonna take a timeout.
Yeah, this is
Braylon,
what I'm trained in.
please
This is my
Calm
direction.
down.
let her
Calm
speak.
down, Braylon.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah,
because
that's
I'm
it.
Calm down.
just
That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. And next week we see him, and the narc jumps out. Next week we saw the clip, and the narc jumps out. That's all I'm gonna say. His wife or ex-girlfriend already told us who he is, and if it works for them, that's fine. But I don't advise any woman in her right mind to get with somebody as toxic as that, because it won't end well. Anybody that wants to look up what I'm saying, he's a covert narcissist. They hide it very well. He's not your typical.
Okay.
That's it. That's
no.
all.
Now,
Braylon, I'm gonna go with
no,
you, Braylon, because
no.
listen. I
Covert.
can't say that
Hang,
this man's a narcissist because
hang
he
on,
wants to
hang on,
provide and be a provider and actually take care of his
hang on.
woman.
No,
There's certain
absolutely.
traits that a narcissist has,
He
and a
didn't
provider
take care of his
doesn't
ex-girlfriend. He didn't
necessarily
take care of his
condemn him to be
ex-girlfriend.
one.
Hey,
He
No,
didn't
absolutely.
take care of his
Now,
ex-girlfriend.
hey,
He didn't
everybody,
take care
hang
of
on
his
one second. Let
ex-girlfriend.
me. Aries is in the chat. Aries is in the chat. He's not
Hey,
north. Why?
Aries.
No. And Aries, welcome
Okay.
and glad to have you here. First of all,
Stay
I'm gonna
tuned.
finish.
Stay
First of all,
tuned. You
I'm
better
going to
behave in the
finish.
chat.
Yeah,
First
Aries,
of
Hold on.
all,
Stay
I'm
yo.
tuned. Behave
first,
in the
Are we?
chat.
first of
Hey,
all
let
to
me say.
Salon.
Hold
No,
up, Brady. Let me say, bro.
No. I gotta get this out, bro.
Wait.
I love you, but I gotta get this out. To Solana and Terry, I'm going to finish my thought. Thank you very much. Number two, in that episode where she said she was servitude, he admitted to his mistakes. When Janelle was in the ladies' lounge, she threw Chris in there as a curveball because you had to throw up somebody when they never had connection. So when Chris went off, rightfully so, because he was painted with a broad brush, that was so unfair. Because here's the thing, and this is why I cannot stand people who will come up anywhere and cast out somebody for who they are, but when it comes back on them, they won't own it. Because if somebody were to judge you for 40 minutes of television, 60 minutes with commercials, and you didn't have the chance to speak your mind, you two ladies, Solana and the other lady, will be pissed the hell off. No, that's unacceptable to me.
Him? No.
Hold on. Let me.
That's unacceptable to me.
Let me speak one
Say
time.
I judged anybody.
Hold
I'm
up.
explaining this from an
You-
African perspective.
Yeah, Selena
You-
explained
Right.
from a
Solana is going to
sister's
be known from her point of view, which is very understandable. This is
No,
just what I'm not
absolutely.
going to
I'm
agree
just-
with
Hold
this
up.
saying that because he wants to
This
provide.
is what I've been
Let me
told.
put a little icing on the cake.
These are the traits that I am seeing, and that's all I can express from the
Let me-
traits.
Okay, and I'm gonna say this. I've been through the traits of an extreme narcissist. Okay, narcissist with dissociative personality disorder and schizophrenia. Okay, so let me tell you, that provider and all of that, that's not a part of it. Because they're going to depend on you too much and they want to stop you from doing anything that you want to do. So for him to say that he wants his women to work and be able to live her life and do what she wants to do, but still he says, hey, whatever you want to do and whatever you make is yours, baby. And I have us. That's not a narcissist. That's just him wanting to be a man. And that's how he runs his household, as he said. I can't put that. We need to stop throwing around the word narcissist just loosely.
Exactly.
Narcissist is not a word that you just throw around, okay?
Exactly.
Because not everybody has those characteristics or traits, and I don't see that in Chris. I see Chris as just he's a traditional African man. He's a Nigerian. The way his culture is, because I'm gonna tell you, I have one. I know. Okay, I know. And that's just how they are, period. They're providers. They will want you to, I'm gonna tell you, the love, the pouring of emotions and love, they will do it. The providing, they will do it. The making sure that you are taken care of, but you also can stand on your own, they will do it. Now, you do have some. I'm not saying all. You do have some that will give those characteristics only to manipulate you into believing and giving you a false sense of hope. But I cannot put that on Chris.
Exactly
I
right.
can't.
And to Aries in the chat, to Aries in the chat, I just want to get this out because I think perspective is important. Aries says she never said servitude to me. I think she was more bothered by just honestly. She just said that in the chat.
We know that his
on
ex
their
was bothered
feelings. So my point
Jess
is,
because she said it.
as much
Hey,
as
they what y'all failing to realize.
as much as we are okay, can you speak? After you, I will speak.
This one thing, to bring it all the way back. You know what I'm saying? Chris, first off, when he apologized to his ex-girlfriend about the things that happened in their relationship, commendable. Very commendable. For a man to sit here and say,
Absolutely.
I want my woman, I want to provide for my woman. I don't want her to have to work. I don't want to do that. Narcissist more so is controlling. I never seen Chris try to control anybody. He came at Jessica very respectfully because of how he felt.
Mm-hmm.
It was never
Very
ever, it
correct.
was never ever nothing like, what I'm saying, I need you to be like this. He like, cool, if you don't want to be like that, we could go our separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Now to the fact of, his nationality and how he was raised, you can't knock somebody on how they were raised. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
all he know how to be. It's because
That's
that's
it.
what he's seen. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's seen. It's not like he's seen anything else outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Chris is nowhere near a narcissist at all. He's just a man and he know what he wants. You either gonna accept it or you're not. He's not gonna sit
Absolutely.
there and try and control the situation. I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that was kind of a little beyond the way of calling a man a narcissist. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Or anything like
Absolutely.
that.
And
You know what
not
I'm
to
saying?
mention too, this is the crazy thing,
No.
Q.
Wait,
This is the crazy thing, Q.
I want to say
This,
something. Calm down.
Let's want to talk because
Like
we
we
did.
are
Yeah.
okay.
talking, we are taking
Okay.
up for Chris, and everybody's forgetting the wrong he did. I will take up for Chris. I was the one who explained to you guys his character and why I do not have a problem with it. But his utterances against Jessica, saying because she's assertive, she's going to be lonely at 60 with cats, very offensive. And
I think he's a
much as
manipulative
I would
person.
understand his character and his behavior from being a fellow Nigerian as I am, I do know one thing. Igbo men, I'm an Igbo girl, they are weirdly misogynistic. And sometimes he has exposure, he is learned, he understands more and everything. But subconsciously, they make comments demeaning women. And I'm not going to allow anybody sweep that under the rug. As much, you guys know I'm the one that have defended Chris the most on this panel. But this episode, as much as he did some right, his wrong sort of clouded up the rights. Because making those disparaging comments against Jessica, it did not sit well with me because this is something that Nigerian men are used to saying. Once you are not in, yes, Aries already said it. He did not use the right words when getting his words out. That's why I keep saying that.
But she also said the same comment.
When they are
But she was
talking about comments referring to feminism, think before you speak.
but also hang on. But
He
also
was dead
but
wrong for
also
that comment.
He meant what
Chris,
he said.
Chris was
Why do
dead
you keep
wrong
on
for that
making
comment.
excuses for him? He
but
meant
also
what he
but
said.
also
He was dead
but
wrong.
also Aries said but always was open to feedback, which I gave often. He was almost too nice to be honest. That what you know what to the young lady that's freshly new to the panel. You know what you seem like to me? You seem like, hey, I want all these toys from the Toys R Us big toy book. You want 100 toys and you get all of them. Why'd you give me all these toys? Well, because you asked for it. So are we getting upset because Chris is being open and honest and vulnerable? Like I really don't get it. From a moment on TV, you know who he is.
I want to respond to him. I want to respond to him because from watching the episodes, for example, if somebody comes to me with a disease or wherever it is, or comes to me with symptoms, I have a 10-15 minute window to diagnose them. That's my job. That's what I do on a daily basis. So with Chris, from these episodes, watching him, that is my assessment from what I know from
Facts,
different.
Aries.
And can I say something? There's 160 types of narcissistic personality disorder. I even said the one he has is covert. It's very subtle. He's very misogynistic. If you want to put it down to him being Nigerian, that's fine. I don't see all Nigerian. I've met Nigerian Igbo people before, and they're not all misogynistic like he is. And you keep on making excuses for what he said, but he meant what he said.
I'm not making any
Hold on.
excuses.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
allowing
Wait,
him to
whoa,
have
whoa,
a
let me,
shot.
hold on. I'm a comment
What
because
the
no,
hell?
we're not
I
making
wasn't talking.
excuses
I
for
was
what
saying that
he
Kiana is
said.
making excuses for Son is making excuses saying that he's Nigerian, he's Igbo, but
No,
I just think
listen.
he's
No,
No,
that's
You
misogynistic.
his
have to
culture. That's
understand that
not an
certain
excuse.
right culture is
misogynistic.
culture. But and I'm gonna say
Oh
this
my Lord
because
I said
okay,
Jesus.
culture was
and I'm gonna say
misogynistic.
wait. I want to say this, and I'm gonna tell you this.
Ignorance is
This
running
right here
amok
is
today.
no.
What
This
the
right here,
hell?
what I'm about to say is no disrespect at all. But I'm gonna say it. You say you're a doctor and this is your job. You diagnose people, but I'm gonna tell you, doctors misdiagnose people every single day.
100%,
They put
That
a
part.
label.
100%. Yeah,
Doctors
that's true.
doctors put labels on people every single day just because in their profession, sometimes it's not even about what the person has. It's about how much you can get off that person, how much you can get off that medication
Mm-hmm.
you're giving that person
I'm not
because you've
Yep.
getting. I'm not getting
misdiagnosed them
anything. I'm
several
not getting
different times.
anything.
Kids get misdiagnosed every single day for ADHD just because
Amen.
they want to run around. They don't want to be stuck in a house on a computer in front of social media all day. But they want to say, oh, no, this child has hyperactivity. No, this child just wants to play and wants to be human. We did that back in the 70s, 80s, 90s. That's not what it was. Now you
Absolutely.
guys want to just put labels on everybody real quick. You want to just, diagnose people off what you see on a 40-minute show. That's not right. I'm sorry, you
And look,
can't diagnose this man because you was not personally there. You did not hold not one single personal conversation. In therapy, a therapist at least will have to have a conversation with you to know at least where you're coming from,
And
know
I'm
something
not.
about you. There's no,
I can't
you can't
diagnose
diagnose
him.
somebody just because you say that is your title. I'm
I'm
sorry.
not. I'm just telling you from the things that I'm picking up from him. He's very misogynistic. He's very slick, and there's
would you
something
have the
about
same?
him.
Would you
That's all
have the
I'm saying.
same
So
energy for
I
your?
can
No, 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 no,
apologize.
no.
I can
Would you have
apologize.
the same
Brain,
energy
is
for
it
your
time
Can I
to
brother?
finish? Can
speak?
I finish? I can apologize if it was
Brain,
No, she
misogynistic.
can't
I'm
speak because
saying
she's speaking ignorance. What we doing here? We gonna
let
let
me
somebody slander a
speak.
black man
Then
for
you
being
will
human?
no,
Hold
no,
on,
because
hold on. Let's
let me
not go
get
I'm
there.
my
not being.
Let's
point.
let's
It's
break it
not.
down.
It's I'm
Right.
black. He's black. It
Let's
doesn't
bring
matter
it
because
down.
he's black. I can give my opinion on the traces and the things that he's that's coming across. That's my opinion. This is
Okay,
my
that's very.
opinion, and I even had to give you the background of why I like the way I focused in on these traits. That was it.
My
So
thing is,
don't take offense.
you can have your opinion. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, and we're not attacking you at all. You
I
know what I'm
feel
saying.
very attacked right now because
Hold
I'm
up,
just
what?
giving my opinion.
I know,
I'll
but
Everyone can
apologize right
speak.
now. If you feel like I've attacked
everybody.
you or that the panel, that's not what we're here to do. We
That's
don't
not what
do
we're here
that.
to do.
Yeah,
Everybody gives
because
their
No,
I'm
we do
speaking
opinion.
like
not.
it's a speak up panel. I'm just speaking on
Hi,
how he's
Aries.
coming across. That's how
Hey,
that's
Aries,
the
welcome
things
in,
that's
Queen.
triggering in me. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know people are very quick to throw out narcissists. I even said I feel like it's very covert, it's very subtle, and I feel like he's very misogynistic.
All right,
But
that's
Aries knows him, so I'll
hey,
hand
that's
the
cool
floor
and
to
all.
her.
Hey,
Thank
that's
you.
cool. That's cool and all. But hey, Aries, if Phil ain't doing what he need to do, man,
Chill, I see you, dog. I ain't mad at you. I'm and Aries, welcome to the Pound Queen. Glad to have you here. And I do want to say this because you made a comment, Aries, about your mindset of how you see yourself in this experience. And I want to thank you so much for being your whole natural self because there are so many people that say that there are not black dads and black moms. So I want to thank you for at least seeing yourself as bigger than just Aries, with your responsibilities. And you seem great energy. I would love to connect with you and everything. And by the way, to the young lady, would you have the same energy for your brother, for your dad, for your cousin, for your uncle? Because guess what? Mental illness does not look the same on
Please
everybody. And I don't think
let's
you would have
not
the
go
same
towards
energy.
the family members.
Well, I mean, she had
Let's
the
just
black
leave it
dastardly and
at
black hypocrisy and
two.
say it out loud, Solana. So I'm just asking to match the energy or stay gone. Aries, go ahead, Queen.
Let's just leave it.
Y'all are cracking me up. Okay, so number one, I even in the lounges and stuff like that, I never take up for these dudes. Whatever everybody's experience is with them is their own. I just go off of my own personal experience. So, because you don't know how people are gonna be. But I will say that just specifically regarding Chris, that there were many times during this experience that we talked on the phone after, different instances or things that he might say or do or whatever. And he would always call and ask my thoughts or my opinions, and he would listen and take that feedback. Like, he really was looking to like learn. I don't think that he was trying to manipulate anybody. He did not come off that way at all. And I was married. My okay, y'all know I've been married twice. So my first husband was definitely, I'm not gonna diagnose him, but I will say that he probably was one of those. But anyway, so I definitely didn't see any of those traits in Chris at all. I think he really was trying not to offend people for a long time, like specifically when it comes to like women, but he would never apologize like for his views and how he feels, because like Slana said, was that that's what he thinks, but I think he just used the wrong words sometimes to say what he was really trying to say, because what y'all didn't see in that scene was that he was talking about, if any of y'all women if something were to happen, I don't care who it was, if any of y'all, even ones I'm not connected to, whatever would happen, I will jump in front of you to protect you, to do, like take up for you. Like, he is that type of person. He's not going to let somebody just, disrespect a woman in front of him. Like, he does have those, like, those views when it comes to like gender roles, so some women, for me, I grew up in a traditional household. So I had a stepdad who, from when I was 8 to 21, with him and my mom, she stayed at home. He was a construction worker, very, very, traditional man views on how the household goes and all that. So that didn't make me feel any kind of way with him saying that. Like, I'm used to hearing that type of, and living that type of, life or whatever. So I think that people who aren't used to that would not be comfortable with a man saying, I'm gonna pay all the bills and this is what I expect or whatever. Those who are would not really look at it that way, which is why my friends were like, okay, so what are your thoughts? Because Aries is not a stay, she's a working woman. And he was like, that's fine, as long as it don't take away from the relationship. So I think that people just need to look at it without their own personal bias. And yes, it is going to come off weird, especially with the way they edit to put things together. Because obviously, y'all know they're setting up different storylines, if you can see kind of how it's been going so far. So anyway, that was what I was trying to chime in. I'm like, when I came onto that and going back to just the ex date and how people keep talking about the servitude thing, Chris never said he wanted servitude. That never came out of his mouth. The ex did say that with Jessica, but what y'all also didn't see was that me and her sat there for 15 minutes talking before Jessica came in, which is also kind of why he said she came in loud, because it was just us three talking and there's nobody else in that restaurant. And we were just kind of talking, laughing lightly. And then when she came in, kind of like, hello, it's, whatever. It did seem kind of like out of what we were already doing. So not that she was a loud person, but just for that particular scenario, it was a little bit different than what it would be like if we were at a lounge or a club or, somewhere that was a little more, had a little bit more external noise or whatever. So that was really what that was. But yeah, like, she never said that. I asked her a bunch of stuff about why they broke up, like why they didn't reconnect and stuff like that, and everything. And he said that, at the time he was building his business, he wasn't aware until she said that at that moment. She had never said that to him. He had found out when we found out that she felt that way. That was something that she was doing because she felt that she needed to do it, because the type of business that he was, building, and he didn't have a lot of time, and that's the position that she took. But he never said, get in here and serve me and do this and do that to her. That was the difference from what they showed y'all and what was actually said during the thing, which is why when he apologized, it was actually a lot longer than what they showed, which is why I was like, whoa, like, that was really powerful. And I did appreciate him apologizing to her, even though he didn't even hear that until they got on national TV he still apologized, to her and took accountability. And he said, since then, I put a lot of things in place with my business. He has an assistant. He has all this other stuff so that he can focus on, on those type of things. So just wanted to add that little piece in because it started getting a little bit. I was like, okay, I was just listening. Typically I could just listen and enjoy, and it don't matter what y'all say. I'll be like, oh, okay, that's funny. But I'm like, all right, now y'all come, y'all doing a lot. Y'all doing a lot.
Well, Aries, listen, I came to Chris's defense because at the end of the day,
no, you did.
No, because at the end of the day, black men don't get any grace, love, or soul, as we can clearly see from this little girl that's on the panel here. That won't have the same energy for Chris. No. Solana, no.
For that statement,
Come on, Braylon, we're not gonna do that.
Right. I'm sorry.
Listen.
To do that. You have to apologize
Listen.
For that statement.
Okay, you know what? I will say sorry because it's the right thing to do. But she also did come up here and judge a whole black man off of a TV show. So we're gonna be fair. Let's be fair to everybody. Thank you very much. But Aries, I appreciate you because there's so many men that want to love black women. There's so many black men that are doing good things. There's so many men trying to rise. And the world doesn't already like us as black people. Why, as a black person, add to the hate? When Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody black, I'm not rooting for everybody black because all skin folk ain't king folk, we can clearly see. I'm rooting for people black that'll take accountability. I'm rooting for people black that will understand people have the right to evolve. And I'm rooting for people to be black and understand that just because we're broken doesn't mean we can't rise up to be better. So So listen, it is what it is.
Can have different views on what they want out of their life and their future, right? So
thank you, Aries.
That part I think is okay. The only thing I will say, I did not like the diagnosis part.
I appreciate that.
I do think that, for me, I'm looking for certain things in my life. Other women, as you heard on that game night, were like, they don't mind. Some women want to go 50-50. Some want a man to pay all the bills. Like some want these different things. Yeah, I'm not a 50-50 type. I'm not the 50-50. Because my thing is I'm already doing it by myself. So what's the point? So anyway,
exactly.
If you're doing it for yourself, right? If you're doing it for yourself and we all live together, then why is it different? But that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, so I think it's just a matter of everybody having different opinions. And just like in that game night, like they weren't able to have that conversation just as a mature group of people saying, oh, okay, that's cool. That's what you want. Great. Then you go with that. I particularly would like to go this route. And that's okay. Everybody can do whatever you want to do. So
yeah.
Well,
I just want to clarify because it made it seem like we had, was like not holding Chris accountable, or just we all agree that he used the wrong wording. But as far as to diagnose him and to make it as though he is some bad person because he's a provider in his culture and the way that he is, that to me is disrespectful. And I took it. I felt disrespected for him when that came out.
And for instance, like this morning, me and him talked about the equality thing. I forgot all about that, to be honest. It was so much going on. I don't even remember what he was saying the night of the action.
I actually wanted to know what he said about it.
That part, it was more, I think, again, it was the wrong wording he was trying to say, because for me, like I'm a woman, I would like literally fight for women to have equal rights and, things like that when it comes to the workplace and everything. So like he and I actually spoke about it, and that was not the full part of that. Yes, no, women are not more emotional. It's just how we all express our emotion. We talked about that today. I'm like, men could be angry. They could yell at a football game. They could they could have emotion for all kind of stuff. But it just comes out very different, and women get judged a certain way by the way that we show our emotion. That's really what it is. And if we really look at the true statistics, that's not the case. It's, women are dying every day by the hands of their partner because people don't have emotional
facts. Absolutely correct.
And you know what? That's crazy you said that because me and Braylon spoke about that earlier.
Yes, we did.
It's an education piece, right? Like I said, with Chris, he's super open to feedback. He may have certain views that he's thinking one way, but when it comes out of his mouth, sometimes it it, like you said, Slana, like he didn't think it all the way through with all the different possible ways that people can. Again, you're on TV, you don't know how many angles somebody could try to cancel you on, but ultimately he doesn't feel that way. He has strong women in his life. His sister's a strong woman. He got a lot of women that he's you know, that he has in his life that are business women, CEOs, running their own stuff, you know. So I don't think, he doesn't think that women cannot lead. I think it was more so around his views regarding, you know, just like, again, I don't believe in equality on everything either, because I want a man to take care of certain things that I don't want to take care of. We are not both going to be taking the trash out. You could go ahead and do that. You know, it's just certain stuff that I do feel too. So I just think it's just a matter of how you communicate those things. Maybe he
Absolutely.
did not do a
No,
great job.
I totally agree. And listen, Tiverton, to be fair, here is the link to season 9 of Ready to Love. Go ahead and apply and let's see how you do. Since you know everybody on the show, go ahead and apply. Let's see how you do.
Listen,
I
I
Since you
feel
have
like
both.
hold on, hold on. This
I
is
just
this
wanted to
is
Can we
say,
not do this?
hold on. This is what I want to do, and I feel like this is the most respectful thing to do. Chris, honey, you are in the chat. I feel like we are speaking about you. I feel like you should come up here and maybe say something
Absolutely.
if you would like. If not, it's understandable. But I just feel like, out of respect, your word should be heard.
Absolutely. Fair is
I
fair.
agree, and
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say as well that with Aries, I appreciate what you've just said now, because you've also given me another perspective, and I do apologize if it was like an outright diagnosis. It was the language that he used that was the trigger for me. But as you explained it, as Slana explained it, it makes more sense now, because if that was his thought process or that's what he truly believed, then absolutely not. But as you've explained it, Aries, I appreciate that, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah, because I mean,
And
I
I
would not
apologize
be
as
talking
well.
to somebody who
Yeah,
thought that way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like that would, I would have been like, oh well, okay, I'm done with him. But he is the most sweetest person, and honestly, even after everything with the show, if we're all with Chris, he is gonna make sure we're all taken care of. He's always very catering, and that's something that I could just say
And that's what a
wholeheartedly.
man gonna do. That's what a man
Yeah.
gonna do.
Absolutely
That's
right.
true.
And
That's
child,
true.
you just lost. Just take the L and move on. Trying to clean up yourself now. Just take the L and move on. Chris, all you do is just
Do
click the
that,
top of the
Braylon.
link
Braylon,
and
Braylon,
Braylon,
you're very
Please let me
Braylon,
not be
hypocritical. You're
shamed.
very
listen.
hypocritical. You were bigging up Chris for apologizing or seeing what he done wrong. And if I've seen what I've done and I'm like, oh, actually, you know what? I can step back and apologize and look at it at a different perspective. You should be saying, well done. Why all the hate? You're very haterish over there.
oh, you
It's
do
all love.
not
It's
know me
all love
well.
from you
Listen,
anyway.
okay. I'm gonna tell you,
She got with it.
Braylon is a very strong-minded person, and he's very passionate when it comes to, I mean, honestly, the treatment of black men. And there's a lot of men that are like that, just like women. We are very passionate about us. We have to understand, if that was flipped and reversed, how would we feel? How would
Oh,
we think in
100%.
that time? Okay,
Yeah.
so
And I
I'm gonna
also
say this.
defend
Okay,
women too. So
Braylon, as your sister, I'm asking you. I'm gonna need you to tone
okay.
it back just a little bit,
All
okay?
right. Okay.
All right. We have
Okay.
the official after
Chill.
party. If you
Okay.
want to air it, go to the
Hi,
I
official
Chris.
after party, okay? Hi, Chris. How
understood.
are you?
Hey, Chris, brother, welcome in.
Hey family, thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate this. Aries, thank you for texting me, letting me you was on. I'm always welcome for people perspectives and their point of view. I don't get mad. You guys see me get frustrated, but that's a whole nother conversation due to the circumstances. So again, I do have thick skin. I've had the hate messages and all of that, and I've always shared some of those with Aries. But again, guys, I'm open to whatever question, what you guys want to talk about, and I'm just grateful to be on you guys' platform.
Okay, Chris, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Because as much as I've defended you, I want to understand what exactly is your beef with Jessica.
My
Because
beef.
it's
So
almost like, yes.
so the thing is, I'm not gonna say too much because she's not here to defend herself. But what I will say is that from growing up and being around powerful women, I understand that it's a certain type of way to handle a man that you seeking, right? And then also another thing, when someone declines the offer, then let it be that, and let's not be upset or create a plan to go against that person because he feels how he feels. You know, after speaking with her after my lunch, I thought we was good, but unfortunately we wasn't. You know, and so things progressed. Um, at that point, the who was supposed to meet my ex was Aries, Lee, and Katarina. That was it. The date I was supposed to go to, I was supposed to be there with Herbert, and on Cat's date. So everything was clear, but production has to do what they have to do. So I'm not mad at them. They're getting a check. So it's like whatever narrative or whatever character you want or outline, you want to see that through, even when it's a curveball been thrown. Like, nah, I'm not running that race. You know. So again, I don't have any initial beef with her, but if we look at how someone treats other people, how can you not treat me that way, right? And those are the things that people don't understand and don't see, because people can look at someone and says, okay, this is a pretty picture. You know, she would use the word aesthetics when it came to me, but now I understand I'm much deeper than how I look, you know. And for a guy to reject a woman, all hell break loose. You know, we get rejected every day, but women sometimes, not all women, because I know plenty of women that don't keep it moving because they're confident in themselves, not saying that she's not, but there are cases when a guy rejects a woman, now he's this or he's that. It's a character attack, and that's what happened. And I kept biting my tongue. Even on the retreat, there were things that transpired that I just turned the cheek to. You know, Aries can attest to that. And I don't really want her to take sides or anything, but some of those things she saw and a lot of people others saw, and I just smiled through it. You know, regardless of what's going on, if you notice, I'm always smiling. You know, and that's what I can say about it without saying too much, because again, she's not here, and I don't want to bash her or say some stuff about her. Even on a friend date, when they asked me about wife qualities, I couldn't say nothing because I didn't want to lie and I didn't want to make her look bad in front of her friends nor on national television. But it gets to a point where enough is enough. Does that clarify?
That definitely, I mean, that's
For
understandable.
sure.
And I
For
think
sure.
we actually, so if you guys are familiar with our panel, we do this every Saturday. So
Hmm.
from the beginning, we have been following. And we have made this comment. We only see a certain part, but also there's so much that you can give a camera for them to show. If you're not
Absolutely.
giving substance and if you're only on the surface and you're all about the surface and there's no inward, you're not going to make the connections. So we can't expect for you guys to stick it out or, it's almost like a competition. You guys have to really weed out people that aren't connected with you. So that's what you have to do. Only
Absolutely.
thing is we say is like when it came to, like you said, we've all said the way you've said certain things, that's what's kind of triggered it, where it's like people look at you as you're disrespectful, or as, you are like women bashing, which is not the case at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Like,
even add this though, and Chris, you can tell this. I told it's times where I was like, you need to stand up for yourself, like it's
Oh yeah, they were dragging me, but I was like, it's like, I mean, it's women. I can't argue with a woman. You know, that's just how I felt. But they were dragging me. You know, like the things that I would have one-on-one conversations were totally different from what they had in the lounge. You know, and one of the gentlemen, I don't know if he was giving us, all the stuff by reading tarot cards, and I know no shade, but I guess there was kind of shade, but it was running tail that. So it got to a point like, oh, okay, well, let me just hush and just ride this out. I know my connections, we genuinely have love and care about each other. So when I saw them on like driving the car, that was one of the beautiful scenes I ever saw. Just seeing them happy like that. So I mean, you're absolutely right in everything you said. And Aries was like, hey, you need to take up for yourself. You need to defend yourself. And I'm not used to having to defend myself against women. If it's a man situation, then it's a totally different animal. What you guys saw on that show, that's the tip of the iceberg when it comes to that, if it comes with a man.
I think in context of the defending part too, is just like when we had the date where I was telling Chris he was still ready to love. it was more to that conversation of me saying, you know, with him, he was trying to be nice and like ease out of his connection, but instead of just ending it and saying, you know what, let's just stop. And I'm like, women need clarity. Like the more clear, even if you think it's going to hurt someone's feelings, like just, you don't have to say it in a mean way. You just say, hey, you know what? We thought we had a connection. It's not that anymore. Let's both just move on. And that will be easier than just like trying to not really say it. And it gets more festered, you know, things get festered and it gets worse. So
yeah, and Aries, to that, we had a one-on-one, but I guess I was maybe too nice with it. And I'm probably, knowing hindsight 2020, knowing what I know now, heck, I probably would have publicly said it and maybe bought an ad on Facebook or something. I don't know. Just so it be clear.
An ad on Facebook. Okay. I thought Red was a comedian.
Listen, you heard? And let me just say this to Tiverton. I am sorry, Queen. I like Gigi said, I am very passionate, and I really do love all people. I just don't like disrespect, because I think we all have messed up with our mistakes, and I think everybody deserves the chance to be better. So I am not sorry for defending a black man, but I am sorry that you got that energy from me, because I am much more than that. So I just wanted to say sorry. I can do the right thing. So
okay,
I don't
so
know
I got
what's
a
it, but
question
thank you for
actually.
defending me.
oh,
I
no
have a
problem, Chris.
question for
I would do
Aries.
it again too.
Okay, this
Go
question's
ahead.
for Aries. How did you feel about Lee saying that her and Katarina were sister wives to Chris?
that was our little inside joke.
It was facts on facts on facts.
It's funny because we were probably the ones that were the most unfazed by the fact that we're dating multiple people, you know, or the same people, whatever. I mean, it's a part of the show, right? So I was, and Chris knows, like, I'm like, go talk to everybody. I wanted whoever I'm connected to talk to every single woman you think you might like. Because when
That's
you come
true.
over here, I want you to know you over here. I'm not worried about none of that. So it was more of our little, you know, fun joke that and honestly, that was kind of one of our first times that me and the girls were really starting to connect. Like we were cool, like throughout the whole time, like cordial and, you know, in the group chat and stuff like that. But we weren't really like, that was where we started our own kind of separate group out of the drama, basically.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. Now, when it comes to, this is for Chris, when it comes to game night and what we did see, if you could answer that question maybe a little differently, would you?
Yes, I would. I would love the luxury if they would have played the whole thing out. Because when I talk about equality versus women and men, the way I said it was incorrect, but my meaning was I feel women shouldn't have to do certain things. And for example, if a man come in that room, and I did say this to them, with an AR or some type of knife or handgun, it's a man's obligation to protect all the women. Even if we're at discord and I'm not favorable in some of those women, I still am obligated to protect her. It's the reason why they say women and children first. You know, and I always say this, God is a black woman, and I believe that to my core. So therefore, in my household, the women, they don't touch trash. It's beneath them. Maybe that's a culture thing. I don't like my sister or my girlfriend or my wife have to struggle when it comes to bills. If she just want to pay bills and she want to do this and that makes her happy, you can do it. It's just that I wouldn't like for you not to do it, but I'm not going to tell someone what they can do, because that's a form of control. And it was, I don't know if they going to show it or whatever, but they were saying something as far as my finances is how I guess have some type of control. A lesser man uses money to control a woman. I'm far from a lesser man, you know, and people confuse my confidence to arrogance, but it's not. You know, I would give the shirt off my back to anybody that needs it. It's just that I know who I am as a man.
Absolutely. I want to ask a question to Aries and Chris, if I may. Chris, you remember when you had to leave the hold down to accept your award, and by the way, congratulations on all the success. And I want to ask this question because I have never been in an experience like this before. do you and Aries believe that maybe your list of standards or requirements have changed being on this show? That for you, Chris, that because you are so involved in your purpose, that, you know, being on this show has allowed you to see that maybe I need to pull back a little bit and live more life. And for Aries, with the wealth of knowledge and experience that you have you seen that you deserved more for yourself as Aries?
Who going first?
I can go first. I've always felt like I deserve more, so this didn't change anything.
Understood.
That's why I've been single as long as I have. I've been divorced for 10 years. So, you know, when people refer back to my life, I was married at 22 years old, and the second marriage, I was in my 20s as well. So there's a lot of context around that, but I did not become a single woman until I was 34 years old. So imagine someone who started dating at in their 30s, right? Like I was always in a relationship my whole, you know, life basically. So for me, I have 2 children. So the way I date is very different than how I would date if I didn't have kids.
Sure.
It's different, right? So I'm looking at the type of men I want my sons to be, the type of, you know, the influences I want around their life if the person's going to be around them. But I've dated for these 10 years and my sons have only met one person, and that was after we stopped dating. So it was just because we happened to be in the same place at the same time. But I'm very particular about those type of things, and what I'm happy being a single person. So I'm not going to settle just for anybody just because they're a man, and, you know, I don't need anybody laying in my bed that bad. So I'm good. When the right person comes along, that'll be the person for me. And I will know that, you know, when it happens. So, you know, that's how I look at, that's how I've always looked at it. That's how I've been looking at it. And I think what the show actually did for me was make me more intentional, right? Like in the dating process. So now I've looked at it like, oh, these are like these questions that I was asking, which they don't really show a lot of them on the show. When what you all are seeing, I wouldn't ask some of these questions for a very long time, because by the time you go on certain dates with people, you only go on dates, you know, once every so often. When you're on those dates, you might be just enjoying yourself and getting to know things about them. But by the time I ask certain ones that are so deep, it might be 6 months or a year from now, you know, if I know all the ins and outs of your life. But on this show, you have to do it all in weeks. So it's like you're bombarding this person with a bunch of questions on things that you may not have really thought that you should be asking. But now I will say, like, whoa, I should have been doing that a long time ago, you know, asking some of this stuff. So, you know, that for me was the biggest learning for me, is just I wasn't being very intentional with my dating as much as I thought I was, based on the type of questions that I was asking and when I was asking. Like I could have knocked some people out early, you know, a couple of weeks and moved on, you know, or whatever. But I think that's one thing that I'll say that I gained from this process was like, oh yeah, you should be asking a lot of this stuff a lot earlier. You get to know someone a lot better.
So if anything, it allowed you to know to breathe within your process more. I appreciate that vulnerability.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, because it's like if you're not happy, like Quentin said, I don't like being single. I like it. So for me, I'm not in a rush to get married. I'm not trying to hurry up. And, you know, like as someone who's already been through it, has a little bit of fear behind making another mistake or feeling like you made a mistake, you know, and stuff. So I'm okay with taking it slow and building and growing with someone. And I don't plan on having no kids, so ain't no rush over here. So.
Understood.
Yeah.
Wow, that Aries, you hit the nail on the head on all of that. So for me, the show, I feel it was a blessing because one of the key things was intentionality, and I think they just beat that down our throat. And I also look at, as far as God gives you a purpose, right? And then people that come in your life for that purpose, I consider them as purpose guys. And I feel that, for example, Aries is one of my purpose guys. I feel like I'm her purpose guy. And with my connections, if you guys could just be a fly on the wall with the type of deep conversations that we have, you know, after recording, you would be amazed, because there's so much to an individual when you're fully transparent and and vulnerable within the conversation. You know, Aries has seen me in my highs and my lows, you know, and because we talk, you know, that's somebody that I care and love, you know, along with Lee and Katarina also. Shout out to her. I talked to her earlier, and I'm praying for her family because she just had a situation with her father. So I would say this show has opened up so many thoughts in my mind that I didn't know about relationship. Just like where it says, as far as like that quick communication, shutting it down when you don't need to go any further. Because in real life, ghosting is a real thing. If you're not vibing with someone, you're not having a second date. But in this process, we're contractual have to be there, and it's forcing you to go deeper with a person that you really wouldn't talk to on a normal, on a normal circumstances. Now, granted, my 3 connections, I would talk to them if I was in Jamaica or Cancun, you know, or even in Oak Cliff, in the ghetto, wherever, you know, because they are those women. As beautiful as they are on the outside, man, the inside of them are even more so times 10. And so it taught me the right questions to ask, understanding, you know, moments of pause. Let me steal Jessica's word because I learned something from everybody. And it makes me, I feel like I'm a stronger man when it comes to relationships now. And I feel like I have thicker skin, you know, because a lot of people don't know, they just judging you based off snippets, you know, just little highlight reels, you know, and they're going back and forth. I had someone that hated me, but they met me in person, then they loved me. I was in Invest Fest, and it was crazy how the people change like the weather. You know, as long like even coming on certain podcasts, they're like, "Oh, okay, now I'm hearing," because I don't talk much. I'm more of a man of action versus just verbalizing to the masses. Now, if I care about you and I love you, we gonna talk all day long because I love to go deep in conversations. And this is probably one of the deepest podcasts I've kind of got in. I kind of like get in, get out, but I'm enjoying this, and you guys are receiving it, asking great questions. This is a safe zone, and I feel good being here, right? So this taught me to only do things that I want to do and who I want to do them with. You know, I'm not going to no longer be pressured to sit down with someone that I don't feel we're equally yoked in even a friendship. You see what I'm saying? So those things is what this show has taught me, and I'm grateful for it. You know, it's more of a positive than it is a negative.
No, I appreciate that, Chris. And what I appreciate about your answer was you allowed yourself to recognize that even though these are my circumstances, that doesn't mean that that's how I see myself as an opportunity, as a blessing, or how I move forward. You didn't let the mindset of others dictate the foundation of your soul. So I appreciate both of y'all vulnerabilities. For sure, would love to connect with both of y'all. Much love to both of you. Thank you.
We'll have to come back when it's over.
Definitely. Let's do it. Throw us a party together.
I'm here for it.
All right. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah.
No problem.
Like I said, we are here every Saturday, and
Saturday.
Actually, right after this, Braylon and I are actually going to do the official Ready to Love after show.
So much to talk about.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. Still a very safe space, but we are letting our hair down, you know, maybe sipping a little wine. Like, we're going to get into it a little more, okay?
Oh, yes.
Well, I'll go pour a glass and check y'all out.
Listen.
Hey, I'm going to listen in too.
Yes,
right,
indeed.
Y'all have a good rest of your day.
Much love, Queen and King. Thank you
so much. Thank you, Queen.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you soon. That was awesome. That was
Thank you guys
awesome.
so much for joining us.
Woo!
So, okay, let's go ahead and get back to the episode. That was wonderful, guys.
That really was. We can't hear you on mute.
You're muted. Slana, you're muted, babe.
Oh,
you're just talking.
I was trying to unmute myself. So I was actually happy that he came on, clarified some things I had to say, because I will still talk to Jessica, obviously, because I would like to hear Jessica's point of view. I'm kind of person that I love hearing like everybody's point of view to like get what they have to say.
Absolutely. And also too, I want to say this. I am also sorry to you because I was a little little heated, but I also want to say sorry to you because at the end of the day, this is for issues and giggles. But I genuinely love everybody on the panel, including you. So I want to say that to you as well because you deserve that respect. So
No worries. So now I was actually really happy that Katerina stood up for herself because honestly, Janelle's words, I understand her reacting to what Chris Polly said, but why are you coming at these women for wanting a man to provide for them? I just did not understand her anger towards that statement. As I said earlier, it was almost like she has been, the vibe I got from her was that she has been attacked several times or she has had problems because she's a working class woman. And now she's like, oh, she's seeing the whole thing flash before her eyes. Because the way and the manner at which she was so, I don't know how to put it, she was too involved. She was too desperate to prove some points that I just did not understand. There's something that really triggered Janelle in that comment because I don't want to believe that she was just being a mean person. I just think there's something that really triggered her that made her become so delirious because it was too bad. You could see Quentin was like, what are you doing? Quentin was even holding her legs because if not, she would have actually stood up and smacked Katrina. She was that pissed.
yeah, no, I
But still,
totally
the
agree.
question is why? Because
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, even seeing that and knowing what we knew from a couple weeks ago with the live, and basically, you know, her letting it be known that she had a problem with Katarina, like it still is not giving me the clarity of what made you so mad or what even made you feel like it was right to make the statement, oh, I bet you do, when she agreed. What's wrong with that? And
hmm
then you threw in nothing against people and their religion, but don't throw in religion to try to make it
Thank you for
fit your
coming in.
narrative.
that part,
Don't do
that
that.
part.
That shit right there pisses me off. That right now, if you want to talk about a narcissistic trait, okay. Now we might be able
Yeah,
to dive into something if you want to speak about that. Because I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you, cult leaders do shit like that.
No, absolutely right. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I think I think honestly what it is at the end of the day, he or she who has not sinned cast the first stone. I've said this quote many times before, but there's a difference between casting the stone and holding somebody to account. When Janelle was talking about a help mate and they have to carry the same weight, well, all weight is not the same. But also, too, there are different levels to weight. So when Sierra and Katarina were saying that I'm not going to carry any weight, that means they're not going to carry any emotional weight of something that can hold them back that they have done the work to get through. And because that space wasn't allowed for Katarina to expand her thoughts, Janelle took an inch and tried to make it a mile. And I think that she was justified. And you even saw in the digital exclusive how Quentin, and you know what, I'll say this, shout out to Quentin for just saying, hey, look, is there anything that you could have done? No, that told me everything. Because if you can't allow somebody to speak in a conversation and you can't allow somebody to speak in terms of a person you getting to know, how can you speak in terms of any space you walk into? And if what I'm saying ain't true, don't come for me, because as you can clearly see, I will gather you. But if you do speak, it must be true to some degree. Just saying. Just saying.
Definitely agree. There's definitely some truth behind it, but this is why I keep saying she's cutting herself down at the knees. Why are you depleting your own value and turn around and say that you are this type of woman and these are your expectations, but then you show peasantry? Because I'm sorry, if I feel like I am above you, and you are just this in person, I'm not about to argue with somebody that I feel like is not up to my standard. Why? That's a waste of my time. Now I'm sitting here wasting time out of my day when I could be doing something. I'm a boss. I could be going and making money. I could be going and figuring out other ideas, whatever the case may be, whatever she says she is, however she does, whatever. Do something more productive.
Mhm.
But instead, you turn around and you show your true self, which is that, and I'm just going to say this. I don't know if she does have a problem because she is a thicker woman. There's nothing wrong with being that. But maybe she got bullied growing up and she still holds some resentment and she's feeling like women who do look a certain way, they are, you know what I'm saying? It's like a coping mechanism. It's her way of like guarding herself.
She used to be
Look
the
at that
center of
noise.
attention. That's what it is. She used to be the center of attention, and now it's used to be the center of attention. Anybody threatens that, she got a problem with it. You know, Quentin was her center of attention. You know what I mean? Anybody standing there against Quentin, just like Katarina, who never had a problem with nobody, now she got an issue with her. Just because
Mm,
she's not the center of attention.
right. And that's what it is. It's like instead of just, I don't know, like I said, all I can just keep saying is she's cutting herself down at the knees. There's no way that you are going to show you're supposed to be showing this man why he should be with you. Make this
Yep.
man fall in love with you. But yet you are giving him red flags to show that one, you can't be wrong. You are on the attack all the time. People don't like that negativity and confusion. So do you really think that these men are going to allow you to bring that to them? It doesn't matter how good you look. You can look however, but
I
that's
know,
only
I,
going to allow a person to deal with you for a certain amount of time.
I know one person who ain't having no negativity. Brady, that boy ain't having no negativity.
You damn straight. You damn right. 100%.
No
And you know what?
negativity.
This is the crazy thing, right? This is the crazy thing, right? At the end of the day, this is how crazy it was because that young lady said that I have a lot of hate. What she don't know is if somebody were to come for her, I would have defended her the same damn way. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part.
It's just crazy how Braylon, I
And
had to
thank
reel
you,
you
Q,
back
for
in.
seeing me.
I had to
Listen,
definitely reel you back in because I was like, oh
listen.
Lord. Hold on, wait a second. It's okay. But like I said, I had to let it know. Like people are going to take even your action as disrespectful, which I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen here, you cut a rug and you know that there was some parts that were you just like Chris, there was some stuff that was said that shouldn't have been said that way. I understand your point, but we can make points in different ways. But
Sure. And I owned up to
but
everything I
I
said and
agree. I
apology.
agree with some of the things that you were saying though, because it was facts. If it's facts, it's facts. I'm not gonna fight the facts. But, you know, this is a panel where we all can, come together and just like open free speech. And I think that's what they're lacking because it's not like everybody can just have their own opinion. You say what you want because for some reason it just seemed like Janelle was on the attack. Like there was nothing that was said that was wrong. There was nothing that was said about her directed to her. Like, so for her to actually come for them and be on the attack and then act as though they're always starting mess and then to attack their looks, those ugly bees and this and the third. It's like, what was that even for? No one said anything about your size. You brought up that you're a big Barbie. Nobody said anything about your looks, but they're ugly. Like and then you throw up the fact, well, I'm here. Y'all all there. What does that mean?
Exactly. Yep.
You didn't make a good point. She's there too. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Janelle's kind of. I'm sorry, she didn't fell off for me. I'm not really feeling her attitude. I don't see her having a connection, and the way that it was how she attacked Chris. honestly, I hope that that's who Chris is kind of talking to in the next episode. Get her
I,
together if you need to.
I
Not
mean, I did.
not so much get her together
Come
like that, but
on.
what I'm not saying get her together like that, but I'm saying he needs to go ahead. If this has been going on where daggers are just thrown at you for no reason, I don't care who you are, male,
Facts.
female. There's a way that you can do everything. Absolutely. But who is going to stomach disrespect constantly?
Nobody.
Who's going to continue to allow this to happen without at some point in time just saying, you know what? Fuck you, leave me alone, just don't talk to me, don't come around me. If you feel this way about me, or if this is how it's going to consistently be, leave me alone. That's what I mean by just go ahead. If that's the case, let it be known, cut it off right then. Don't keep on going just before the cameras and trying to draw out these connections and play in our faces as if you know y'all could possibly be something that's really not.
No, you're absolutely right, Gigi. And I did say last week if there was a curveball and three women would be up, it would be Jessica, it would be Sierra, and it would be Janelle. It did not happen in that way, but all three of them got it. So my prediction was right on point.
I doubt. Before we move, oh, am I mute? Can you hear me?
No,
Yes, we
we can
can.
hear you.
So I doubt, like I keep saying, as much as Janelle has is down to one connection, she has built her um friendship connection with other people. That
Hmm.
regardless of how she acts, she's not she's not going to be in bottom. That's just the sad thing, unfortunately. So I doubt that. That's why I was really happy that someone told Janelle that she has been so rude and uncooked towards the women and always finds or has an excuse for the men. The same way she supported Moray, supported Quentin, she supported Red. Like, which guy has she not supported on this show? It's just very, very suspect. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh well, good for her. And this comment secretary seems to like it when it came to cut, but once the guys were involved, was little disappointed in her behavior. Yeah, he didn't see any problem with it until people started saying, calm down, calm down. So he likes the feisty her, and I guess that's why he's a little bit bored with what's her name, Lee, because Lee is not going to do any of this foolishness. So yeah, I actually like the fact that Lee advertised herself. This workout scene
Hmm.
proved if people were asking that Janelle and Quentin were not going to last because he was so like he was raved up, he was happy to walk out. He was like in his element, and then we had Janelle sitting down with Sierra at the corner. One thing I
Hmm.
know is that if I'm on TV while working out and I'm exhausted, I'm not going to sit down. I'm going to hold out to the ending just to prove that yes, I can do this. She didn't even do anything, and then you're sitting down. It's like you're never putting any effort. How do you expect to be in a relationship with someone who is a bodybuilder? Eventually, it's going to be like, oh, you're not building your body to my taste. You're not doing this, you're not doing that. So it's just kind of like, Are you going to be able to live his lifestyle of bodybuilding, being to the gym? Because as much as your body is bodying at this age, when you are close to 50, it's not going to body as much as you want if you do not hit the gym.
No, you're absolutely right. And honestly, to tell you the truth, like even Sierra participated and Kat participated. And if you noticed how, at the end with and Lee is such a sweet spirit. Like shout out to Lee. If you notice at the end, when they gave each other high five, Quentin and Lee, how she had a resting itch face and how Quentin said that he was intrigued that he just wanted to. It's more Jill Scott energy, but I agree with you. Erica Badu was in the mix for show. Stay tuned reviews, but I love the fact that he said, "I'm intrigued. I didn't see her in this light," and he
He
recognized
was
that this
turned
is his
on.
experience. Yeah, he was turned on that this is his experience, and no heaven or hell is dictated by another person. I love the fact that he recognized that he has power. Because in the preview, child, Lord Jesus. Okay.
But I just like the fact that the digital, copy, him actually sitting down with Janelle and like, hey, trying to talk to her. I like that he did that. The fact that
Hmm.
she didn't receive it said a lot. Her
Yep.
face during that whole workout said a lot. She was not ready for that. They're not compatible. And Quentin even said it like seeing Lee in her element turned him on. That
Yep.
made that light shine so bright on her that right now there is no way to see anything surrounding. And
Hmm.
Janelle is included in that.
But
And that right there,
the unfortunate thing is that Lee said at this point she had already hopped off Quentin's train. So
wait a minute, say what you said? Whoa, 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 whoa.
Lee
I just
said
want to,
at that point she had already hopped off Quentin's train. The only reason why she was still with Quentin was because she was just trying to like, let me play the like it's on our Instagram live. Let me play it. You can keep talking while I go to our Instagram
okay,
and
yeah,
play the
okay. I
clip.
thought you said something else, girl. I was gonna say, wait a minute, she hopped off his tree, girl.
Oh
What?
my God.
To hop off the tree,
It
you had to
explains a
hop on
lot.
the tree. Okay.
Right. So I was about to say, but you said the train. She did. Yeah. And she said she was been done with Quentin. But
Look, look,
being done
not
with
that.
Quentin, who else is her match?
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
Chris. Honestly, Chris, I do listen, Chris, if you still in there, I'm telling you, y'all was cute together, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think Chris and Lee for sure. But also too, I want to say this. I love how Katarina really gave herself a shot with Chris and they got to bond on culture and to see that black is a spectrum and we can be proud and joyful and celebrate our culture and who we are. So I'm kind of pulling for that connection too, to be honest. And by the way, hopefully, this is not going to be a hashtag chicka chicka boom storybook come to life by hopping on the tree. Lord help if that
Lord have
happens.
mercy. Bow chicka wow wow.
Listen,
Okay.
But seriously, are you funny enough, Ginika? The strangest thing about Lee and Chris is that in their exclusives, they were they had so many Lee and Chris. They just decided for some weird reason. And for instance, the OG fans of the show have been complaining that oh no connection, no connection. Why didn't you put this a little bit of connection here and there in the show so that the OG viewers will not feel like they are missing too much? But for some weird reason, they just patched the show with drama, drama, drama. Anyways, drama sells, but I mean, at least give us something about love, I guess. So yeah. But I'm not shocked that Sierra went. I'm not. I expected her to have gone like episodes back, like back, 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 back. So the fact she even lasted this long was too shocking for me.
Well, I agree with you on that one because I was like, wait, I have not seen her really connect with anybody. I could have swore she should have been like dropped 2 episodes ago, maybe even three. Like there really wasn't. I don't know. But does she give off-brand Faith Evans, maybe Blue Cantrell? Like I'm not saying she's not fly. Like she's sexy. I'm just saying like she's a beautiful woman. I'm just saying like Sierra just she gives me I don't know.
well, I
She's just
mean,
she's
while she was beaming with her amazing personality, everything in between, she was hitting them up style. She was. You know what I mean? I'm so
right,
damn
right. Hit him up
stupid.
stop. Right.
Lord help.
Okay. Yes. Listen. I'm surprised that she lasted as long as she has. I could have swore she would have been gone, but And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like she's the one that's gonna leave. But if she doesn't, I'm gonna be shocked. My jaw's gonna be on the floor because I don't see how she. This is the thing. At least with Jessica, Jessica has tried to connect with several people. I haven't really seen Sierra's real connection with anyone. Like hers is more so sporadic. Like, oh dang, just so I don't get eliminated, I'm gonna talk to you. But it's like, where's the real connection? But I don't know. That's my opinion.
No, totally agreed. Totally agreed. Oh man, can we talk about this preview, y'all? Because there was so much. There was so much. Yes,
Hmm.
yes, Janika
But I will
Thompson.
say that it was predicted that it would be one of these three in the bunny.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. I'm so ready for this preview because, child, it was a lot. It was a lot. So the women have power, and with everybody going fishing, Lee and
There's a bad
Quentin.
echo in the background.
Oh, I don't have anything on. Okay, hello? Okay. So Lee and Quentin, the whole crew are fishing. And then Janelle comes out. Bae, you caught a fish? I mean, is that not a lake outside? I mean, are they not using fishing rods and bait? I mean, unless ABC World News Tonight had a report about fishing and how fishing is this amazing, relaxing thing that people do, and it's something new that Janelle has never known about. I assume that's what you do when you're fishing.
That's what I said. She came out like the mama. Baby, did you catch something? Oh, look at it. Okay. Make sure you listen to your uncle. Listen. You better put on that life jacket. You don't want to fall in there. The water's cold.
That's right. That's right.
That's what she gave. Like,
She
oh
really did
man.
though. She really did.
Like all she was missing was a bonnet and coat. Like, you're not there to date. You are there to look over the house.
What do they call it in a sorority house? A house mother. You wanted to be the house mother for him.
Mother Goose.
Listen. Oh, Lord.
Okay. Listen, she just looked like, oh, like that. He was on an invisible leash. You know what, Katarina? I feel you. He was in the sunken place. He might
really
be in the sunken
was.
place.
He's
Yeah, but she was
definitely
quiet at that
stuck in
workout.
place. But he wants to hit on leave, and she wants to get married. So it's like I might as well give her what she wants and dip her about it. Anyways, let me play the clip of Lee, then we can round it up.
In
Okay.
between me and someone else, it doesn't sit well with me. But I did try to stretch myself in this process because I know it doesn't work like that. You can't just say, "Oh, you like me and another person," and go over there. You can't do that. At this point in the process, after everything had went down on the X day and things just not really going well for me and Quentin, and that's not necessarily a dig at him or anything. It's just either the chemistry is there or not. I think a lot of times people think similarities mean you're compatible. Me and Quentin were the most similar in that we're in the same industry. We both love and health and wellness and do things like that, but that didn't really make us compatible. At this point in the process, I definitely was ready to throw the towel in, but I told Tommy I would put my best foot forward throughout the entire time and continue to stretch myself and just try to show up. At this point in the process, I felt like for sure that it's not hard to see. If y'all watch the show, you can see that Quentin and I aren't giving the vibes at this point. I will only give y'all what the show has. I won't spoil the show for y'all. I want y'all to continue watching.
So, as I was saying, at this point, she was no longer feeling him. She didn't want to be competing with Janelle for him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that makes a lot of sense. Just because you have similarities doesn't mean that there's compatibility. Compatibility is built on conversations and experiences that hopefully will lead to a connection. Then we have Janelle, big mad about her friend being gone. Oh, boo hoo. Let me play the saddest, smallest violin for you. So she was upset about the word combative being used, which there's way worse words to use. And Chris, rightfully so, said, well, I don't have to explain it to you. And then we get to the end where, Chris is sitting across from somebody. And let me tell you something.
It's Janelle. It's two of us.
Yeah, yeah. It's absolutely Janelle. It has to be. And you know what? I will tell you this, and I'll dive deeper into it on the after show. But I had a feeling, and I said this to Gigi, and Gigi, you will vouch for me. I said, if I was a producer, that's the conversation I would have. Did I not say that, Gigi?
Yeah, you said that. You did.
Child, I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, because that you did. You was like, hey, I feel like there's a sit down that needs to be facilitated, and he needs to go ahead and be in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The
but
vibes
she
are being all
definitely,
shady.
Holly Rock, she definitely was quiet at the workout. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing left for her to say
Yeah.
except for just to sit there with the
So,
stank face.
so I guess we've covered the entire episode, and I think we've even
Yes.
over covered for today. Does anybody have any last words? I know you guys want to go to your after party. Do anybody have any last words before we
First
go
of
on?
all, this was a great damn panel. I'm just going to say that right now. Yo, Friday night was a whole episode, and then you got a bonus episode of Ready to Love today. You understand? Shout out to
Right.
Talk with Solana. Shout out to Queen T with GG9. In the words of Snoop Dogg, I'd like to thank me. And Q, of course, and Aries, and Chris, and even Terry on Love, and to all of you in the chat. And like we talked about before we got on, this is my favorite part of my Saturday, because honestly, there's so many times in life that we do not ever get the chance to be this real about anything. And the fact that even though you saw his knees weak, arms heavy like spaghetti, oh damn, there goes gravity, we still came back down to recognize that we all are still human beings. So I love each and every person on this panel and the chat, and love all of y'all. So I'm good to go.
Absolutely. I'll second that. I appreciate everyone, Slana. You know, I absolutely love you and appreciate you. Like from the get go, even talking about this, like we have more panels coming because there are other shows that I feel like need our attention and our expertise when it comes to commentary. And I just absolutely appreciate even giving us this platform for us to, to do this every week. So, can't wait till next week. We are definitely going to see a whole lot. And you guys just make sure that y'all tune in for the after show because after today, today was unexpected.
Yes, it
So
was.
there's really no telling what is going to happen. And I think it was just a great panel and I love it. I look forward to it every week because I know that it's
Yes.
going to be something new and just unexpected. So
Yes,
definitely
indeed.
love you in
Stay
the chat.
tuned.
Love everyone. Thank you guys.
You want her to cuss us out? I'll actually try to reach out to Janelle because as much as I do come for her, I'm going to definitely try to listen to our own point of view because we may
Oh,
never know what's
absolutely.
happening. Because I was talking to my sister and I was like, as much as I judge based on what I'm seeing, there are sub things that are definitely happening that we just do not understand.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's
for
Oh,
going to
and
be
so
sure.
you
on
guys know the
Braylon's
after
channel.
show is actually on Braylon's channel and my channel as
Let
well.
me look for
So
the link for you
yeah.
guys.
And by the way, I reached out to her
Um,
too. And listen, I think one thing is very true about me. I think all y'all can say it. I am very fair. I stand 10 toes down, and right is right, wrong is wrong, but I am very fair. So I reached out to Janelle as well. And if Janelle came on, I would stand 10 toes down what I believed, but I also understand she's a human being. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think it
Yeah.
will actually be an interesting chat. I will try to reach out to her because I know that with the way she's been like attacked this season, she would not want to do more than maybe one or two interviews before she bows
sure.
out gracefully. So I will try to reach out earlier, probably tomorrow,
Yeah.
and go. So thank you
Yeah.
guys
See
for
that she has it where you
tuning
can't like at her on IG or like mention her on
in.
anything.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
yeah.
guys on in the comment section. Thank you, Braylon,
Yes.
Gigi, Q has gone to
Love you
work,
all.
and thank
Yes.
you to Chris and Aries for always joining the panel. Today, Sierra is not here. I would have actually loved her to be here, but oh well.
Right.
See you guys.
All right. Much
See
love,
you
We'll
everybody.
see you in
later.
Braylon's channel, and we'll see you guys next week for the review again. Bye.
Yes, indeed. Much love, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.